people that show up. So,
hey, everybody, we are live. Bill Carroll is the captain. I am going downstairs to take care of some business and then come back. Draft Nerds is our new addition, and
yes.
I'm trying to figure out how to add people as we come in. And what I'm trying to figure out is how I can add myself here at the same time. And what I may wind up doing is so that I can actually be, two places at once, right? There's the show link, and how am I going to do this? There's this. I'll just do it, Zennie. Press the button. Google. The streamer is entering studio. Accept all cookies. And welcome. Let's continue. Allow mic cam access. Okay, allow. The browser has blocked my mic and camera. Join without mic and cam. It's weird.
Usually you can just tell it to allow permanently and it will never.
Here I am. There's the other me.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Device not connected. Let's see here. Your browser has blocked you. Refresh the page to allow access. Search. Entering studio. This is allow. Whoops. Unmute. Zennie. Enter studio. There I am.
Boom. Just mute the other one. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
No, that's what I call an AI agent. So now I can go downstairs. Okay. All right. So if anybody else comes in, somebody else is in. Hold on a second. Oh, nope. That's not it. Okay. But if I see somebody else come in, the whole thing is like let them in.
Right.
So now I can go downstairs and I can still let them in. All right, cool. If they come in. All right. And I can also participate. Hey everybody, there's 21
on your way out the door, Zennie, did you want to make a pick for the Raiders since the Raiders do have the first overall
Fernando
pick?
Mendoza.
And you are
Yes.
Yeah, it's
I'll pick for
obviously the least well kept secret of the last at least 5 or 6 months, I would guess. He is a person who literally people describe as a CEO or presidential, and they're not being snarky at all. I mean, he is literally a young man who had a successful stint investment firms, and the people that were his mentors there said that if he wanted to be in investment banking, they thought he'd be incredibly successful. He's going to be successful at something. If this football thing doesn't work out, Fernando Mendoza will be okay. Okay, let's keep the ball rolling. We have not yet hit anyone. We had someone who originally said they might be available for the Jets, but he apparently is not available.
Okay, I'm going downstairs, but I still have.
I will proceed. Yeah, I know. I figured that at some point. It's like we had almost like a cockpit simulation going for a second there. The good news about being the Jets is that you can use every terrible of them would help you. But based on my reading of the Jets and the fact that if they're not able to trade down, which I'm sure they will at least consider doing, they're going to look at immediate impact players. Players that will see the field early and often and will make good things happen. People talk about wide receivers, and wide receivers potentially can be one of those things, but I truly don't think they're going to go wide receiver quite this way. It's a nice class of receivers, but there's no Calvin Johnson. There's no wide receiver that demands you take them in the top 5 or top 4, in my opinion. And I believe they see the same thing. I think they see where the depth of talent is, and where the Yes, in answer to your question, like a slow slope that goes down like this, and then some talent groups are very pointy, right? There's 2 or 3 really, really good players, and then 5 or 6 decent players, and then 10 to 12 very good players, and then a bunch of guys that are pretty good, and then a huge base of okay players. Is not super deep. 2, there are a couple of immediate impact, and people forget that offensive and defensive line, beyond just pass rushers, can be immediate impact players, right? I think that the way they look at this team, that is, I mean, I think rebuilding is obviously a fair way to put it, and doesn't have a single position where they can say we're done, we're good here, right? There's not a single position anywhere on the team where they say we don't need anything. I think they're going to look at the guys that rush the passer and the guys that protect the passer. All those guys, the guys that rush the passer and guys that protect the passer, which one that fits what you do, like this. I think they're going to stick to their board, which, I mean, obviously is what, well, I was going to say most teams do, but some teams clearly get a little antsy, right? We've seen it happen where a team moved on from what was maybe the most value available and looked at a position of weakness. Thought process. It's not my thought process, especially when my team is bad. If my team is 3-2 players away, I might go ahead and say we're going to bypass obvious value to fix a need. But I think after it's all said and done, all both said and done, I think they're going to land on maybe a somewhat surprising pick to some, but I think they're going to end up with Sonny Styles. I think that despite the fact that he isn't playing, and I like Arvell Reese. He's a very good football player, but I think people are seeing him differently from what he actually is. I'm seeing him in person. I'm a million, but I see a Matt Blair. Look him up. Or you want some more recent, a more athletic version of KJ Wright. I think he's going to rush the passer well for a linebacker. But people who think he's going to be a full-time, full-service, hand-in-the-dirt guy, I wonder what you're basing that on, right? I know that he showed you some things, and he is super athletic. But I don't think make guys have figured out, or someone figured out, that they were going to be rushing the passer when they were 14, 15 years old, and they've been working on it. He started really working on it a handful of months ago. Oh, yes, could show a board. Good point, sir. Look at you with the thoughts. But yes, I think that's what's going to happen. Now, I think they would prefer to trade down and still get him, but I don't know if they're going to have someone who trades up with them. Like everyone says trading down, right? Trading down is cool and awesome when you can do it and still get the player you want, but someone has to trade up with you. And I don't know if there's any teams that are really that interested. I mean, Matt, maybe you have a different read on this, but do you see anybody that's desperate to move up into the top
5? No, not really. This is not one of those drafts, in my opinion, that you move up.
Yep.
There's no super blue chip players in this draft. There's no Saquon Barkley. There is no I just think about the last 10 years, right? Just think about some of the players that have been in the top 10, right? Guys that you would trade up for, guys like the quarterbacks, obviously, I remember Carolina trading up to get number 1 for Bryce Young, or you have other teams trading up to get quarterbacks, or you have you might have like a generational offensive lineman, right? Like what's my guy's name from the Colts? It's just, I just think about, there's been years where there have been players to trade up for, but none of these guys, like, to be honest, I think I only have like 11 first round grades on players this year, and so
a couple.
So to me,
more than you, but
when you think about what you would have to trade, you would have to trade future draft assets to a draft that may be better than this one, that has more blue chip talent in it. You would be trading away that in order to go up to grab a player in this draft. I don't think it's worth it. I think player 5 is not much different than player 10, in this draft.
Yep. There's a lot of trade move. Not some of it. I think there'll be a lot of interest in trading, but how do you do it if another team doesn't want to go to where you were? And that's where I think therein lies the rub, right? Yeah, there'll be teams that are in trading down, but there's who's going to trade up? Because you can't just trade down. Trade down into where? Into what? Right? Somebody. You have to have somebody partner on the other end. And that's the challenge, right? That's the issue, is that I don't see any obvious, as you said, gotta have them players. And when you add that to the fact that the teams with a lot of ammunition, I truly believe those teams are going to move around the board later to swoop up on guys that quote unquote fell, right? That's why I think you're going to see where the movement begins. I don't think it's going to be in the top 5, top 10. I think that teams that play that they liked and maybe have 13, and now it's pick 26, and that player's still there, that team might flip a pick to get back into the first to get that player, things like that. That's how I'm reading it. If I think there's trades, I think that's where those trades happen.
Yeah, I agree with you, Bill. I think somebody may try to trade into the back half of the first to get Todd Simpson, kind of like last year with Jackson Dart, situation like that. I mean, if you can trade back a few spots where, let's say you get on the board and there's 6 or 7 players that you like, maybe you can go back 4 spots, still get one of those guys and pick up a second round or third round pick. That's the most ideal scenario when it comes to trading back. But like Bill said, you got to have a trade partner, number one, and then you got to have a plan to, once you trade back, what's the plan? Who are you going back to get?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, awesome. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think Bill just dropped.
Is it my turn?
I'm not sure. I think Bill was having some
Did you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, awesome. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think Bill.
Is it my turn?
I'm not sure. I think Bill was having some.
Did you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, awesome. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think Bill.
Is it my turn?
I'm not sure. I think Bill was having some. Yes, sir.
Oh, awesome. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think Bill.
Is it my turn?
I'm not sure. I think Bill was having some. Yes, sir. I think you can mute
I think that's because I have my other window open.
Yeah, you may be able to
Let me
mute
shut
that
this
one
down.
though. You may be able to mute that one.
I think that's because I have my other window open.
Yeah, you may be able to mute that one though.
Yeah, that's what I need to try to do here.
Yeah, you may be able to mute that one though.
Yeah, that's what I need to try to do here.
I think I'm gonna have to go upstairs and do that. Yeah. Well, folks, we have some technical play out here. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Folks, we have some technical play out here. So I will go do that. Okay. Yep.
Okay, I'm back.
Fish foot. That's what
About
makes
that.
you more
Who
fun.
else, who else do
All
we
right, there
have?
he is.
There we go.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. My mom says hello.
Oh, hello, Mom.
She's watching. She's watching. You guys ever watch Finding Your Roots with Henry Louis Gates?
I told you my father knew Skip Gates.
Oh, I forgot you told me that. No,
Yeah, they'd met at several conferences.
I've never met him. I always wanted to meet him.
He's shorter than I am. He is quite short.
It's we're live. Do y'all want to like start over or how y'all
We
wanna do
can recap. Yes. So we just had a couple of picks in. The Mendoza pick, of course, I think everybody on the planet Earth had that. And a lot of people have projected that Arvell Reese will be the next pick. And it certainly possibly will be, but I feel like they want a already put together player as opposed to a project player at that spot. And
David Bailey?
right. And I get the feeling that if you ask Sonny Styles to be a situational pass rusher, he would probably do it close to as well as Arvell Reese does it, right? Even though he's a converted former safety. He reminds me a bit of Jamie Collins, obviously even more athletic, but a guy that, just got bigger and bigger and closer to the line of scrimmage as his NFL career or college and NFL career went on. Then that will bring us to the Arizona Cardinals. And, of course, another place where people have speculated that a team might try to trade up or trade down or whatever. I think that the Cardinals will listen to offers, but I don't think they're going to get one that they like enough to move on. And I think they're just going to end up sticking and staying. And I think they'll consider Arvell Reese, but I think they'll actually end up with David Bailey, who, once again, is a little more ready to go right out of the box. While with Arvell Reese, you're talking about a little bit more of a project player. Ladies and gentlemen, Travis Jesus has joined us. I feel as if, like Gregorian chants, maybe should be a draft. We are joined by the one, the only Draft Jesus, everyone. Benedictions to you all. So it is always a pleasure, always a privilege, and always a thrill.
Yeah, I thought we were going to be filming 45 minutes longer, so I was like, I could hop in this one too. Let's get
there. We go. Indeed. I think that David Bailey is a player that, worst case scenario, is going to give you, as a rookie, 5 to 8 sacks, even if he's just a situational pass rusher. And while with Arvell Reese, I think he might eventually get to 8 sacks. I don't think he's ready to do it right away. If you need somebody to produce right away, you're going to. That's my read on it. If anyone has a different read, speak now.
I thought this might help. If you guys want another setup, let me know.
I'm assuming we're talking about the Jets.
Oh, yes, right. We just had the Jets, and actually that was the Cardinals. So we had the Jets and the Cardinals. Okay. So the Jets, after very much considering both David Bailey and Arvell Reese, I actually had them taking the person I'm projecting who might be the defensive rookie of the year, or at least in the running for it, in Sonny Styles. Now, ironically, Sonny Styles would have been, well, I guess Robert Saleh, wherever he goes, is going to love a guy like Sonny Styles. But if he had still been in New York, I feel like it would have been almost like a lead pipe cinch. They would have taken Sonny Styles. I mean, he's everything about Robert Saleh, everything he loves is what Sonny Styles is. Smart, versatile, super athlete. But I think that if you have a smart, super versatile, super athlete, you might want to take him anyway. And if you ask him to rush the passer, I think you would do it reasonably well. Though I don't think I don't think either Reese nor Styles will ever be a full-time pass rusher.
What's so intriguing about what you just said? And I don't think enough people are talking about this enough. It's that Sonny Styles only has 16 less edge snaps than Arvell Reese does.
Correct.
And nobody talks about it.
Correct. right? They both have only done it a little bit, but when you break down their effectiveness, there's not a huge difference, right?
Yeah.
I have the simulator pulled up. Y'all want to share the screen?
Oh yeah, right. And that
I have
is
it.
indeed it.
If you want to share it, I can post it.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, sir. And we can indeed do that. And like I said, the Jets can literally use anything. There's not a single good player the Jets couldn't use, right? They could use every position because they're terrible at almost every position you can think of, with a handful of exceptions. They could use almost any player you can imagine. And then next up, we just went through the Cardinals. The Cardinals are another team that will obviously be listening to trade offers.
Who did the Jets take? Did the Jets take? Sorry,
Sonny Styles.
They took Sonny Styles. Okay.
Yeah.
And
I think if they get the right trade offer, they'll trade down. But I don't think they're going to get the right trade offer. I think, like I said, I think the trading activity happens later in the first. And now that brings us to a very interesting, what I call inflection point in the draft, right? The Titans are a team that could attack either side of the ball because, well, once again, they could use help on either side of the ball. But the aforementioned Robert Saleh, who would have loved a guy like Arvell Reese, or loved a guy like Sonny Styles, will now not settle for Arvell Reese because you don't really settle. He's a good football player. But I think that's where Arvell Reese will now land. I think Styles or Reese could land in New York or in Tennessee, and they have similar likes and dislikes, right? The things that you like about – they're both raw about the pass rushing stuff, if that's what you like, but they both can do a lot of things well. They're both pretty good against the run. Now, edge setting for Arvell Reese is still a bit of an adventure, right? So if it's something you truly value, you're going to be a little less excited about him than a team that just sees him as a pure just go after it guy, just get upfield. If you just want to just get upfield, then you'll be fine. But yes, he is not great at setting edges yet, but he's also new, as we said, to all this edge business. So if anybody,
who was the third pick to the Cardinals? Was it David Bailey?
No, it yes, it was. That was David Bailey. You're exactly right.
All right. And Tennessee is
Tennessee was Arvell Reese. Yep.
Arvell Reese. Okay. All right, now we're up to date.
Yes, and now the fun begins. Oh, I didn't get a chance to ask you, Jordan. Who would you like to pick for?
Who would I like to what?
Pick for. Who do you want? What teams do you like?
God, I mean, give me whatever teams is available. I mean, I am right in front of the Space Needle, so I could pick.
You now have 5 people in.
Yes.
Yeah, give me.
Hello, Bill.
Hello, Holston Carson Jr.
So I'll pick for him.
So
I have been having my butt whooped for the past 2 days by a cold.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. Something's been going around. 2 of my coworkers were out yesterday. My fiance is dealing with something. So yeah, please, people, wash up, mask up, and slap on your hand sanitizer. Listen to me when it comes to that. Okay. Carrie says you somehow from a distance gave her a cold.
That's crazy work.
That's probably how it happened because I got my cold from my daughter, who I'm visiting right now.
Yeah. Colds from colds. Colds from kids are particularly devastating. Okay, so the Giants could use a lot of different things. I do not think they're going to take Jeremiah Love. I do not think they're going to take Ruben Bain, though I think they'll consider it. I think that they're probably going to go after Mayoga. They have a somewhat reckless but talented young quarterback, and I think they may want to, one, keep this sucker in the pocket a little bit more and protect him better. I like a lot of things about Jackson Dart, all the way back to his days at American Fork, Utah, where he was a Gatorade Player of the Year in both baseball and football in the state of Utah. Watched him at USC, where he was at one point in a 3-way battle for the starting job, and then, of course, he made his way out of there, eventually at Ole Miss, and finished out. But I think they want to keep him in one piece, and I think that going after offensive tackle will help. But back to you, Jordan. Who would you like to be?
I mean, I'm down to be Seattle. I'm down to be any teams you guys haven't honestly picked.
Okay. Well, Seattle's yours, and you can have the Dolphins also.
Oh, yeah, I'll take the Dolphins.
Yeah, because that's going to be a fun situation with whatever they're going to be.
I'm literally actually, like, my office right now is overlooking the Space Needle and the water, so both fit.
There we go. And then probably any other orphaned franchises I may send your way.
Yeah, absolutely. So who'd you pick for the Giants, Bill?
That was Francis Mayoga from the University of Miami, trying to keep their very talented young quarterback, but somewhat reckless young quarterback, healthier, right? They don't want to end up in a situation where they have this very talented young quarterback who's just not consistently able to stay healthy. Because that's rough, man. Because he's a kid that wants to make plays and sometimes tries a little bit too hard and he takes hits, a few too many hits.
That's why I like my team's quarterback.
He is durable. You're right about that. He's a durable guy. And as the old saying goes, the best ability is availability. So
I got someone joining. He's coming through.
Perfect.
Right.
Well, bring him on.
Right now, I don't see him.
Is there anybody who would like to be Cleveland? The land of Cleves?
Nobody wants to be Cleveland, Bill.
Yeah.
I can take Cleveland, Bill. I can take Cleveland. I can
Go
take
ahead. Get on in there.
Baltimore and Cleveland. I can take both.
Isn't that like having a conflict of interest being Baltimore and Cleveland?
No, I can tell you, Matt, when it comes to this thing, is a man of integrity.
Yeah, not me.
When it comes to this kind of stuff,
I don't believe in bias picking because I'm a Ravens fan. I'm more
there
of
it is. Yep.
professional. But
Did you say you're a Ravens fan?
what was the Giants? What was the Giants?
The Giants selection was Francis Mayoga from Miami. Yours is Miami.
Okay.
What round are we in right now,
We are
gentlemen?
still in the first round, sir.
First.
Wow, okay.
I think that to me, I mean, if it falls this way, I know they would like to get a tackle.
Yep.
But wide receiver is probably just as big a need, if not bigger. They did address the offensive line in free agency. They added a couple of pieces. So I'm gonna go Carnell Tate here and stay in the state of Ohio. And I think he'll be a great compliment to what they are.
I see him more as a high-end number 2 than a 1, but for them, a high-end number 2 is a 1. So I think it's a good fit for them, and he gives them a different kind of receiver than they've had probably since Braylon Edwards, who has both size and speed and the vertical ability, not just speed ability, but also the leaping ability to go up and take the ball off the top of the rim, as they say.
Yeah, Jerry Judy's not a true number 1. They got to find somebody.
Yeah, and then once again, I don't think Tate is either, but I think he's
Jordan Judy's more like a 2 now, isn't he?
Yeah,
If
maybe.
that,
I mean, he really probably should be a 3, but
Right,
he can be a 2. JT, what's up, man?
Yep, on his best day, maybe.
Hey, sir, welcome to you.
Yes. That brings us to the Washington Commanders, and I think the Commanders are absolutely thrilled to see that things have played out this way. I think they're excited to see things have played out this way. There are lots of players that they were excited about, but weren't sure that they would make it to them. And once again, some people have started mocking Jeremiah Love there. I think that they have bigger problems, to put it as the French would say, autre shot de frappe, which literally means other cast to whip. The French are weird, but simply means but
those French girls. Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Gentlemen, I have been to France a couple of times. No, they're not all that you think they are.
they weren't for me. Sorry,
but we'll do another draft for like women of the world. That'll be a separate draft, so please stay tuned for the details of when that will take place. But for this draft, we're going to get back to the Washington Commanders, and after strongly considering a couple of different players, I think they're going to actually land on maybe a slight surprising pick, but I think they're going to end up with Caleb Downs. And I think there's 2 reasons for that. He's what I call a force multiplier, in that while he plays his position at a pretty high level, he also frees you up to do other things with other positions and other players. He can play in the slot, obviously. He can come down close to the line of scrimmage, and while he's not, prime Darren Woodson, he is still a very solid tackler who could play in the box. He can drop to the deep middle. He can defend the slot. It's almost like drafting 3 players in one. The only real knock on him is he's not an elite level athlete. But this is a team that, while they are interested in athletic ability, they don't have as many hard guardrails as some of the other teams in the draft do around not knowing if a guy's a great athlete. Their draft philosophy, while it takes that into account, doesn't prioritize athletic upside as much as some other teams do. So if you know their draft philosophy, you understand that they really do look at production. And if a guy is an elite player rather than an elite athlete, they're a little more flexible, is an elite player. There's few players more elite at their position than Caleb Down.
Okay. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done.
Well done, Bill.
Thanks, sir. I think you may need to mute one of yourselves, Zennie.
I need. Is that possible? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, we'll find out together.
It sounds like a therapy session.
It might end up being one.
Therapy session.
And so that brings to, I think someone's also coming in.
Yep. They are. And here's Mr. Robbins.
And that brings us to the Saints. And we'll see who popped in. We may have a Saints GM joining us. If not, you may be picking up an orphan, Jordan. If we don't have someone who's interested in
Has anyone taken Chiefs yet?
Okay. The other me is kicked. Bill?
Oh, okay, that works too. So would either Jordan or JT be interested in picking for the Saints?
Has anyone picked the Chiefs yet? I'd rather do Chiefs.
Oh no one has. You're both the Saints
Chiefs.
and the Chiefs are available.
I'll do Chiefs. Someone wants to take Saints.
Okay. JT, would you have an interest in either in picking up the Saints? Is JT muted or is JT doing something else?
Or Jay as well. I think
I
Jay's
didn't mute him. I did not mute him at all.
No, I don't.
Hello?
I can't tell.
Mike?
Yes.
Hello.
Oh,
Here we
okay.
go.
I guess my mic wasn't.
There we
on the
go.
right setting.
No, you're good.
Am I
JT.
good? Sorry, I thought
Now
I was
we can hear you.
saying.
You're in the pipeline 5x5. Would you have any interest in picking for the Saints?
Well, first of all, thank you for allowing me to join y'all. Well, yeah, I'll pick for the Saints.
Get on in there, sir.
I think the board has fallen in a very good place that they probably just take Reuben Bain Jr. here. I think they were one of the 2 teams that would take them. If not them, I think Jordan with the Chiefs behind them would do it. So I think,
Correct.
They, with Cam Jordan seeming to not return, and then they needed to get younger at that position, I think they need someone next to Chase Young, and I think Reuben Bain would be a staple for their defense for a long time. So I would select Reuben Bain Jr. here for the New Orleans Saints.
A lot to like about that pick. And they're another team that doesn't have a lot of the same hard and fast guidelines that some teams have. Some teams have guardrails or guidelines about height, weight, length, etc. And some teams are more flexible. The Seahawks are more flexible. The Saints are more flexible. And I earlier mentioned Washington as well as that, as they look more at production and are you an elite player? And if you're a good athlete, that's cool, but they care a little less about those hard measurables than some teams do.
Yeah,
Like the Browns at the other end of the spectrum, they care very much about things
6'2"
like
short.
height, weight.
He's 6'2" short for me, Bill.
Yes, well, some teams, like I said, do have actual guidelines about that.
What's the pick for the Saints?
The Reuben Bain.
And I think
Now,
another thing with them is that for the longest time, obviously, they've had a really an older team or a team that's been pretty costly for them. So
Correct.
they just need cheaper talent here, and I think you get that in Reuben Bain. So
100%.
Hey Bill, where's your ranking? It was never posted anywhere. I can't find it.
Oh, well, I can post it, but I just wanted to get us to pick number 9, which is our friend Jordan.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
So I think like the biggest thing here is everybody's going to think corner, and corner's the way to go. But in reality, I really like the day 2 of this corner class, especially where they're picking. It's really nice for them on the board. I think right here is where I would go Mekhi Lemon. I would just take a wide receiver that fits really well there. I always thought he was a great fit for the Chiefs, but on top of that, I think like Andy Reid, like there's all these like construed ideas about how he acted at the podium at the combine. That's never been anything that scared Andy Reid. Andy Reid's always taken guys who have had like a little bit of issues in interviewing and stuff like that and turn them into who they are. He likes passionate guys on his offense, so he can take more disciplined guys on his defense. And that's always been the way he kind of assembles his draft board along with Brett Beach down there. But it's just like, to me, I think Mekhi Lemon is such a nice fit for them. And I just think ultimately, to me, he's still my wide receiver 1 in this class. I think he provides a certain type of physical toughness that a lot of his wide receivers don't have currently. And it provides somebody who's more of a chain mover, somebody who could be ready day 1 to start right away. And I think you can address corner, and I would have went Ruben Bain here, so he's correct. I would have picked that frame rate, because like the biggest thing with the Chiefs and edge rusher is they like their bigger guys and bigger frames, and it just, there's not a guy on the board that fits that for me, so I take Mekhi Lemon here.
Cannot disagree with a single one of the things you said. And I feel like if it sets up this way, you would see the classic, what they call sprint to the podium for the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, the Bengals, once again, could use, on defense at least, could use pretty much anything you can name. But still, sort of the consensus number 1 corner is still there. And I don't know if you watched the Bengals last year, but their secondary was a war crime, right? You're going to soon see, like, attorneys, like what do they call it? Personal injury attorneys are going to start advertising. Like, if you watched the Bengals secondary last year, you may have suffered damages. If you want to collect, please call 1-800-Bengals secondary, whatever. So they're going to address that secondary, I think, more than once. And this is a good year, in fact, because there's really good corners, really good secondaries, and I think they're going to double up, right? As Jordan said, there's really good day 2 and even day 3 guys at these positions. I think they will double tap the secondary in this draft, but I think I'll single tap it right here with Mansur Delane, who is a good tackler, a really good technician, not a freak athlete, but a good enough athlete. But most importantly, or equally as important, he can play multiple techniques at a high level. He can play, bump and bail. He can play off man. He can play press man, and he can play like a true zone at all of them at a pretty high level. And that enables you to call a lot of different defenses, and you're not constrained by the talent you have on the field.
Mm-hmm. So for the Dolphins, I think like the biggest thing is everything I just said about the Chiefs does not cross apply to the Dolphins. They need 4,000 corners. I don't care how many they get. I'm taking Jamon McCoy with this pick. He answered a lot of questions at his pro day with his athleticism and just being back into form. I know a lot of people had problems with not taking the testing at the combine, but like it's just about getting ready. It's about making your body ready. And the Dolphins are not a team who could be beggars that could be choosers. They're not that type of team. They need corner help, and they need it badly. They need a lot of other positions as well, but with the 2 wide receivers off the board, you're really just looking at a point where it's like Jordan Tyson, it feels a little too early with the injury concerns. You have way more picks down the board where you could do something with. Address that corner 1 right away. Never let Storm Duck play another snap at corner 1.
Well, a very disappointed Cowboys team is now working the phones to see if they can trade out. But I don't think they're going to be able to. I think they're going to have to stick and stay. This feels like one of those drafts where there'll be more teams trying to move down than teams who want to move up. So a lot of those calls are going to go unanswered. So they're going to look at the board as it stands and say, okay, well, who do we like? And I think they're going to like, some of their options. And I think they're going to end up maybe the first big surprise pick, somewhat big surprise pick of the night. I think they're going to end up going with Keldrick Falk. I think that he is going to help them against the run, as well as be a pretty good pass rusher. But for those who watched, they gave up some big plays against the run. And a lot of those big plays against the run were things that started inside bounced out because, once again, they struggle to set edges a lot. like a lot last year. And while people think of pass rush and think of defensive ends, and of course I get why they do it, but there are some defensive ends, and you, especially if you have at least one who's a really good edge setter, you can kind of let the other guy kind of freelance and just go after the passer. But one of your defensive ends has to be able to set edges. If you watch Dallas last year, you know that was a problem for them on both edges, both sides. They had some soft edges on both sides of the field. At least one side of the field has now been secured. And I think he's the third youngest player in this draft class, if memory serves it correctly. So he's not even legal to drink yet. He's 20 years and like 7 months and 54 days or something like that. He's one of the youngest players in the draft. So you're getting size, you're getting upside, and like I said, you're getting a guy who, even if he never becomes an elite pass rusher, you're getting a guy who has a really good edge setter. And that now brings us to another, I think, somewhat pivotal point, because when you get past the Cowboys, you now have teams who, well, in the case of the next two teams, are good teams, right? Maybe they had one case had a dip last year, but the Rams are a contender. The Ravens should be a Super Bowl contender. Let's see. Well, I'll start with my man Zennie.
Yes.
Zennie, would you like to be the Rams GM?
I certainly would.
You may pick away, my friend.
I believe that the Rams are facing a quarterback controversy of sorts, or at least I'm about to create one for them. Because as much as I like Matt Stafford, as much as I enjoyed interviewing him, and as much as I am still upset that his agent didn't let him throw me a sideline past the draft, I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to take Ty Simpson.
Okay. Well, the good news is it's a scenario where Ty Simpson does not have to play right away.
Right.
Not at all this year unless there's an injury, and possibly not even next year. So he gets time to be brought along. He's a guy who obviously is on the very low end in terms of snaps and starts at the collegiate level. And, I don't want to go down the long list of the 16 and under starts club. It's a mostly kind of scary list of guys. But what gives you hope is that, one, quarterback development is something that the Rams seem to have a pretty good handle on. And two, as you say, he doesn't have to play right away.
I'll tell you what, Ty's a fast learner, and he's really improved through this process in a way that I'm comfortable enough to do that. And I think he's going to go into a system, and I think by his second year, he'll start.
Okay.
And this is a situation where I owe Matt a case of ginger ale.
That is a situation where you owe Matt a case of ginger ale. But once again, kids, this is an exhibition, not a competition. Please, no wagering. Except, of course, you two. That brings us to the Ravens.
Wait, did somebody bet me and I didn't hear it?
No.
It's between me and Jordan.
Yeah, I have a bet.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, between me and Jordan. Yeah, gold bottles, by the way. Gold bottles.
Yeah, of course. Only the best for my guy.
Mhm.
There we go. Nothing but the best. So that brings us to the Ravens.
All right, so Ravens on the clock. And, this is perfect. No one really got picked that the Ravens would have loved to have outside of maybe Ruben Bain.
Right.
I think all of these guys are presumed to go before 14, so
correct.
No issue. They're not bummed about Ty Simpson getting drafted to the Rams at all.
Not.
But I'm going to do something. So Jordan Tyson, I love the player. Don't love the medical files there. Just my old coach told me a long time ago, injured players don't stop getting injured. You go to the next level and you just continue to be what you've always been. And this guy's had a slew of injuries just in college. And I don't know if the Ravens are the right team to take a chance on an injured player, looking at their history of drafting and taking chances on injured players. It has not worked out to this point. And if EDC wants to get himself fired, you draft Jordan Tyson, somehow it doesn't work out, he'll be out of the door because they still haven't forgiven him for David Ojabo. They haven't
Right.
forgiven him for Andrew Voorhees.
Right.
And Jordan Tyson would just add to that list. So what we're going to do is just take an ultra athletic tight end here. Ozzie Newsome loves tight ends. The Ravens love tight ends. They have one tight end on the roster right now, and he will be 31 years old by the time the season starts. He also has had issues, Mark Andrews, performing in the playoffs. I think you need a weapon. Digging into Declan Doyle's offense with Chicago, they deploy a lot of 12 personnel, 13 personnel. Kenyon Sadiq is a move tight end, so you can put him in the backfield, line him up on the line of scrimmage, flank him out wide, put him in the slot. He can just do so many things for you. Open up the middle of the field, which is Lamar Jackson's favorite throw. He loves throwing in the middle of the field. Yes, he's gotten better on the outside throws, but when he's got to have it, he's going to the middle of the field every single time.
Yep.
And so we're going to take Kenyon Sadiq here at 14, and we move along.
Yep. Yes. And that brings us to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is thrilled, I say, the way the things have played out. They have been targeting a particular player. They got a little nervous. They thought at some point they might have to trade up. But thanks to some things that worked perfectly for them, they still get a chance to get Monroe Freeling, the tackle from Georgia. That is a player they have long wanted. Now they get to have one of the most athletically gifted, young, impressive tandems of tackles in the whole NFL. Future Hall of Famer Tristan Wirfs, and now perhaps future Pro Bowler, at least maybe even All-Pro in Monroe Freeling. And they have them both fairly cheap. That's what you like.
I thought you were about to say future Hall of Famer Monroe Freeling. I was like, whoa.
Well, I'm not going to go quite that far, but he is a gifted player. He's got a lot of potential. Another one of the younger in an old draft. He's one of the younger players in kind of an older draft.
Alert! You have 7 people in the room.
Yep. And I know that Hostin Carson Jr. will probably want to pick for the Bears when we get to the Bears. So I'll bring him in when we get to that.
Hey, are the two gentlemen that are in the stream with audio only? Do you want to remain that way? Is that deliberate, or did you just forget how to use your camera? Well,
I'm getting my camera set up right now.
Okay.
There we go. As you guys are working on that, the Jets are also somewhat excited with the way things have played out. They are a team that could use, everything. But they also see one of the really impressive, talented young players in this draft. And Olivavia Vega is from Penn State. He's a powerhouse, a massive powerhouse of a human being. They want to run the football. And a lot of people say, draft a running back. Well, I mean, that's cool. But if you really want to run the football, draft guards. Draft powerful, athletic guards. Yes. And that way, if your running backs are even just all right, you'll have a much better running game. And there's running backs that can be had very deep in the draft. So they're thrilled and excited. And so now the Jets have plugged another gap in their team full of gaps.
What I love about that pick too is like you're setting up your future quarterback. Like you're starting to get all the pieces where they're like that offensive line is actually pretty dang good. For all the problems the Jets have, it's really just about fixing a couple little tinks and tears on the offensive line. And this is the piece that could actually make that offensive line really elite.
They've drafted, and if this happens, they would have drafted 3 offensive linemen in the top 15 in the past 5 years. That is a major investment into the offensive line. Yep. I personally wouldn't do that here just because of the other prior investments, and to the point of what Jordan just mentioned is their offensive line is already pretty good, and this is a really, really good interior offensive line class that you can find a guy in the 2nd or 3rd round. I would probably have gotten a weapon for whoever the quarterback is going to be because Garrett Wilson he's been pulling double duty for the last 5 years trying to get open with no help on the other side. So, but interesting pick, definitely interesting pick. Vega's a good player. But
there was a classic fist fight in the draft room, and there was a Sadiq faction in there, and even there were some people who were hoping Lemon would make it to them, and he didn't. And obviously, you talked about Jordan Tyson. There were people who liked Jordan Tyson, but their team doctor really didn't. So that happens, man. That happens. Coaches are optimists by nature, but doctors are pessimists by nature. So you often end up with that tension, right?
Guys, I'll be right back, guys. I just gotta check on my
Yeah,
mom.
do your thing.
I'll be right
Ladies
back.
and gentlemen, Chips at Sea, it's now officially a party. We've been joined by the one, the only, the Rockin' Robin himself. How you doing, Jay?
Even better after that introduction. Thank you. Once again,
Oh.
the man, the myth, the legend.
Now I'm having fun now. I'm going to award you the Minnesota Vikings and obviously the Colts. And
What team are we giving JT, by the way? Just make sure he's got some teams in there.
how do you feel about the Chargers, Jay?
I'm down for the Chargers.
Well, there you go.
Get some,
Congratulations.
old Colts quarterback involved there.
Yes. Captain Comeback himself.
What teams do we want to give JT as well? So we have.
Oh, yeah. JT, how do you
All right, I
feel
just stepped
about-
away. Did Detroit make a pick? I'm sorry.
Oh, they're
Not
about to. I'm
Okay.
awarding, now that Jay's here, I'm awarding some franchises. But yes, the pick is essentially in. I just haven't given it yet. I'm also going to give JT, how do you feel about the 49ers and Bills?
I think I could do that. Sounds good.
All right. Enjoy. They are now yours.
All right, sounds good.
And now, for those who've been patiently waiting, we are now going to return you to your regularly scheduled broadcast, and also the pick that's coming in from the Lions. Now, the Lions value players differently than some other teams do. They like, once again, as people talk about, the biting of the kneecaps and things like that, they really look at a guy's football attitude, right? They really care about that. Like every team talks about, do you love ball and all this stuff, but they really value it to the point that they'll take, a linebacker from Iowa 8th overall and not blink. They don't care, right? I mean, they don't care about like if it's a premium position or if it's this or if it's that or it's the other thing. But are you a dude that like wakes up in a cold sweat excited about playing football? That's what they like. And they now are thinking about moving Penei Sewell to left tackle, which means that they now are going to have Larry Borum or someone else play the other side. Now, I think Larry Borum is best suited to being a swing, who maybe plays guard sometimes, plays right tackle in a pinch. But my belief is that they would like to not just go to war with Larry Borum 17 games in the NFL. So I think that Spencer Fano now has a new home, and I think that new home is Detroit. And that now puts Jay, not JT, that now puts Jay, the Jay without the T. That puts Jay on the clock.
Ooh. All right. So
That's how you know he's in Indianapolis, because cars are driving past him at a high rate.
I mean, that wasn't me, but I'll take it with the racing metaphor there. But anyways, the Vikings might also be off to the races right here because this has been a common landing spot for Dylan Thieneman. Yes. However, I've never seen Jeremiah Love fall this far.
Yes.
And I have to feel like I feel like this is Thieneman's floor. But if somehow Jeremiah Love is there, they're taking him.
He is there.
Let's get Love off the board to the Vikings of all teams.
That's my favorite fit for him, actually, by the way.
That is an insane fit. I was trying to be diligent and be like, all right, Thieneman's there. They love Thieneman. He fits exactly what they're looking for as a Harrison Smith kind of successor.
Kind of, sort of.
But Jeremiah Love, demon on my shoulder, is right there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, have to take him. Have to.
I'm not even a tiny bit mad at you. Not even a tiny bit mad at that pick.
To be honest, I thought once he got past Cincinnati at 10, like it would have been they would have to be like, okay, like, can I come up here to get him? Because it just, again, a perfect fit. So I was like hoping Matt or somebody would let the Ravens drop down to 18 and like let them take him where at 14, because I think they would. But like they get him exactly where they're picking, so they lose no capital and they get exactly the player they wanted. So
yeah, and it fits so many things that they want to do, and especially they want to run the football, right? I mean, they really do want to. When you have a situation like they have at quarterback, whoever it is, they would like to run the ball better and more often than they did. And so that is a great fit. The Panthers.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to make it.
Oh, the pleasure is mine, my friend. Okay, the Panthers.
Hey, am I back just in time?
You are back just in time. If you'd like to be the Panthers.
I would absolutely freaking love to be the Panthers.
Well, get on in there.
I'm yeah, I am definitely in there. Oh, don't die on us, golly.
Not yet.
All right. So I believe we are probably down to the level of Francis Mayoga level.
Yep, he's gone.
He's gone.
So I'll whip through players that are still on the board. That might help. Okay. Players who are still on the board include the other tackle from Utah, right? So while one of them has been selected, Lomu's still there. Kenyon Sadiq is still there.
No, Kenyon Sadiq got taken with the Ravens.
Yeah, he got taken.
No, he did. No, you're right. He did not.
Yeah, that I heard. Yeah.
I forgot about that. He is not still there. Okay, so
you said Fano was gone?
Yep.
Fano's gone, but Lomu is not.
I'll take him.
Somewhat surprisingly, Dylan Tiedemann is still there.
I'll take him. Lomu.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not wasting any time. Lomu.
No reason to waste time. Yes.
I was literally just in a mock where people were mad that he wouldn't pick 26.
Tell you, Panthers have Lomu. They beat the Rams. Period.
That's a solid pick. That is a solid pick, and he's going to help them.
Yep.
So the Cowboys, who have long
Panthers
struggled,
have Lomu. We beat the Rams.
The Cowboys, who have long struggled, and I mean long struggled, to find playmakers in their secondary, are tickled. Well, I wouldn't say pink, maybe more like whatever the color that Jerry Jones' face is, but they're tickled that color. And now they get a chance to scoop up one Mr. Dylan Tiedemann. And now, for the first time in a long time, the safety position is, instead of a thing that makes your stomach kind of, flippity floppity and a lot of acid in your stomach, now your defensive coordinator can kind of relax a little bit, breathe a little easier, because now every time something happens, you don't have to worry about, oh God, will my safeties give up a big play?
Crap.
Okay, everybody. So we have 7 people in the area, and we have 119 viewers.
Yes,
Nice.
and that brings you to my Steelers. Now, thankfully, there's no Ty Simpson there for them to make a mistake and pick. Thank you so much for the temptation that was Dylan Tiedemann having been removed. Ty Simpson being removed. So now we can be serious and clear-headed about what we should be doing as a team.
And then we're taking a different quarterback.
You stop that. You stop that right now. So the Steelers, when they were at their best, had elite level players at all 3 levels of their defense. Now, their defense is old. One of the oldest defenses in the NFL. I don't think that's news to anybody. And they've got to get younger. Have to. Now, ironically, the real knock on this player is his age. But I think we're going to get over it at least a certain amount. And we're going to go ahead and take Akeem Mesidor for 2 reasons. One is he can play inside and outside. He's not a guy who's outside only. 2, though he is older, he is a guy who still has some upside left. He came to football reasonably later in his development. He is a guy who really didn't take football seriously until he was in his later teens. So I still, despite his age, I think there's still some growth potential there as a player, and he feels like a Steeler. I mean, I know that's sort of a less analytical thing to say, but there are certain guys you look at and think, oh yeah, that guy plays like a Steeler. This guy plays like a Steeler.
I can see it, and I'm not mad at it. Except if I play against them, I'm not mad at it.
Yes, right. Yes, then it's me back to back because I have the Eagles as well. Okay, so
Wait, I have the Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers.
and you have the Chargers. So for those that have not been paying attention to
the Bill
The
Chargers,
Chargers are first. The Chargers are first.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah, the Chargers
It's not
are
back to
first.
back.
Those
The
who have not
Chargers.
been paying attention.
Get in
Bill.
there. Get in there, Chargers.
For the Bills that are not paying attention.
Yes. I just got excited. That's all that was. But go ahead. Get in there, please.
All right, let's see. The Chargers. They have some interesting needs there, of course. Scroll up a little bit for me. You got Omar Cooper there. You got Tyson. Denzel. Interesting. Ooh. They could go interior offensive lineman as well if there's. Ooh, Pregnon is there. That makes some sense. Yep. But scroll back up for me, please. Let's go Omar Cooper Jr., wide receiver out of the Indiana Hoosiers.
Yes.
Oh, how shocking. Jay picks an Indiana.
I know.
Shocking. Which is good news for the Chargers, and it is bad news for the Bills.
Hey, just because he's an Indiana Hoosier doesn't mean that he's unbiasedly in my top 3 wide receivers of this class.
There you go. You tell him.
He's in there because he's good.
And he is good. You are right.
And he's gotten the Indiana bump a little bit.
Yes. So
he's legit. Don't fret.
He is legit.
No, I like Cooper. My hot take on it is I think he ends up being the second receiver off the board.
Oh, okay.
I can see it.
I think Tate goes first and then Cooper goes, and I think Lemon and Tyson go after those two.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, if I may, administrative note: viewers can actually write a comment if you want it seen. You can buy a super chat for as little as $2.
And as a special offer, if you do a super chat of $2 or more, if you also send me a player that you want me to give a, not here, but I'll actually write you up a little blurb, a little scouting report. And if you put in there either your email address or your Twitter handle, I will then send you that scouting report. Okay, so that gets us to now for real the Eagles. So for those that have been paying attention to the Eagles like players from Georgia. For those that have not already heard that, this will not be news. I guess the people already know that. And a player that they had, in their top 25 is sitting right there. One of the last players, in fact, they have a first-round grade on, and that is one C.J. Allen from Georgia. He is a dynamic playmaker. He is a green dot guy, and he can stay on the field even when you just have 2 or even 1 linebacker on the field. He's got enough range and enough coverage ability that he doesn't have to come off the field essentially in any situation. And if you know about Fangio's defense, he likes to do, fun, wacky things where his linebackers may pop up places where they normally wouldn't in other people's defenses. But C.J. Allen understands that. He's very football smart.
And what's the best thing for a young secondary? Having a middle linebacker that can move them into coverage when they need to.
If Draft Jesus says it, it has to be true.
Praise be.
Praise
be is crazy.
Yes. So the Browns are now back on the clock.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Shout out to Tall Monkey, man, getting that haircut, man, missing the team picture. All right, so we went Carnell Tate with the first pick. We got to continue to try to build this offensive line, and knowing the kind of running backs that they have, the type of running game that they're going to want to put together. We're going to go Caden Proctor here from Alabama.
Ooh,
He's had a really good pre-draft process. I was high on him, then I got low on him, and I'm high on him again because he's handled himself very well on the pre-draft process. But coming out of high school, I mean, he was fantastic. I was like, all right, just start the clock. The moment he gets into college, he's going to be a top draft pick. But then he made some poor decisions. He first committed to Iowa. I thought he should have went to Iowa.
Yep.
He then transferred to Alabama. That wasn't probably the best decision at the time. Nick Saban had just left. They went through a lot of different, scenarios and things like that with him. And then, but then he started slow last season, and then he picked it up towards the end of the season. And then he had a good combine, good pro day. Reminded people why he was such highly recruited out of high school. And I think thinking about what Cleveland wants to do, playing in the AFC North, he's a good fit.
Yep. And there's once again a lot to like. Have I been critical of him? Yes, I have.
Yeah.
And at times his technique has left something to be desired. He's had some not great games against players that he probably should have been able to handle. So he's got some stuff to clean up, but the talent is unquestionable. Unquestionable. He is a special talent. But yeah, he's got some technique work to do. So your offensive line coaches are going to earn a little bit of their money because they can turn him into he was a huge recruit, right? A 5 on most people's
he was the number one recruit in his class.
Correct. Yep. So there's a lot there. So the Bears are in a very powerful, interesting situation. There's an old saying that scared money doesn't make money. Now,
who's got the Bears?
I am in communication with one Poston Carson Jr., my Army buddy, a proud veteran and a combat engineer. So this is an interesting situation because a player, their highest rated player who's still available, is a player who has been noted, has a notable and concerning injury history. But they're going to go ahead and roll those dice. Give us Jordan Tyson. Now, if Jordan Tyson, admittedly, it's a big old if, but if Jordan Tyson, just on watching the tape, right? Jordan Tyson is a player that I would easily put in the top 14 of this draft. The injury concerns, the scratch and dent is why he's still here, right? That's what pushed him down the board. He is a 3-level wide receiver. He runs slants like teaching tape. He has great route deception. He tracks the ball beautifully. He can even, for a guy who's built like he is, he even can break tackles a little bit, right? He's a guy that runs a little harder than a guy who looks like him probably should. Now, the downside is, yes, he is a bit slender and he gets nicked often. So you have to say to yourself, are these the types of injuries, as Matt said, that will be constantly reoccurring, or can we work with him both in terms of conditioning and maybe even telling him about maybe, hey, we don't need every yard on every play. Maybe almost like you talk to a quarterback. Hey, sometimes the journey's done. Step out of bounds or get down. Are there things that can be done to help him to play more consistently on the field? But if you just look at just what he is as a player, this is a guy that I would have no problem taking in the top half of the first round. But injuries are a real thing, right? We can't turn them off because it's not a video game. It's the real thing. So that's why he's still available. But I think they're going to go ahead and roll the dice. And they could end up, it could be snake eyes, or they could have one of the great values in the first round.
Yep.
Man, you stole the most injured possible player for round one right in front of the San Francisco 49ers. How dare you, sir?
The 49ers do have a type. You're right. They do. They have a type.
No one circles the wagons, though, like the Buffalo Bills, and they are
on the clock, Bills.
I also think the Bills are mad here. I think they would have probably taken the chance to roll on Tyson as well, because they probably would like. I know they just traded for DJ Moore, but I mean, with him and Shakir, you get a chance to have Tyson. If he's still dealing with the hammy, come back and you get an electric playmaker like that they need.
Yep.
If they're not feeling Keon Coleman, and obviously like that's been an issue for them in the past.
Oh.
So, what am I doing here for Buffalo? I, as a fan of the player, would like this player. Would Brandon Beam take him? I'm not sure, but I'm looking at Emmanuel McNeil Warren, and I really like his play style. I really like the his ability, and I think that I'm going to take Emmanuel
Nice
McNeil
recovery.
Warren
Yes.
for the Buffalo Bills.
You stuck the landing there, young man. Yes.
They're looking for something to play outside of Cole Bishop as well. They need something, and I think McNeil Warren allows to get a player like that. That is very.
Did they lose Taylor Rapp, or is he still there?
I think they did lose Taylor Rapp. I know they re-signed. What's the gentleman that got injured in that game?
Hammond. I mean, not Hammond.
DeMar Hamlin. They re-signed Hamlin to a 1 year. But I think they let Taylor Rapp walk. I think they also had Jordan Poyer, and they let him walk as well. So I don't think they really have a lot of people.
Jordan Poyer is 34.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even if they had Jordan Poyer, that would not stop you from taking Neil Warren. If anything, it would just basically be him, helping to warm the spot and get him ready to take the position. They have needs in that secondary, and like I said, I applaud you. Like, it's the talent is about right, and when you get to the end of the first round, you're out of players with first round grades anyway. In this draft, at least, the players you're taking are players who have early second round grades anyway. And you found one who I think is going to really help the team. So well done. Now,
I also have the 49ers.
The 49ers.
And here you guys took, I think, Lomu and Proctor, and I think they would have also liked a tackle to sit behind Trent Williams for a little while, and I don't know if there's a tackle there. I like Blake Miller as a player, but I do think he's right. I might have to take a player that they've been mocked to a couple of times, and someone I think could be a good player in the future that he could sit. I'm going to take Max Iheanacho here for San Francisco 49ers.
I'm just going to say, you deal with the ups and downs very, very well. Another beautiful recovery in a difficult situation. Well done, sir. Well done.
Wow.
Yep.
So let's see here.
Keeps us rolling.
Yeah. I believe that comes to me then. The Texans.
Yes, sir. That is you.
Yeah, I have a kind of desire, which I will not do. Let me get my little ranking board here for the players. This is something different within that one. I believe I'm still dying to do it. I really believe it would be a good idea. He's one of my favorite players. I know the Texans are linebacker rich, but I believe that the rich should get richer here, given this draft, and given how well I've seen this person play, which I believe is still available. CJ Allen.
No,
he's already taken.
Howie Roseman also had similar feelings about CJ Allen, apparently. So he is now an Eagle.
Great minds don't necessarily think alike, but I'll take it. Fine. Damn it. Anyway. Okay. All right. So the Texans have also had some offensive line issues.
Facts.
Players. Yeah. So I'm going to send them Trey Zone. He's 6'7", 312. Yeah. And really quite enjoy his anchor position when he's vertical set blocking, which they've done on occasion. Not as much as they used to, but
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a legit surprise pick.
Thank you. Yeah.
And that brings us to the Chiefs in a pick they got in a trade with the Rams.
Yeah, welcome to gospel, ladies and gentlemen. There's a guy staring me right in the face, but I'm actually going to go in a different direction from the same school. Put Peter Woods on this team. I know it's very different. I know it's very odd, but I think you're still ultimately looking for a Chris Jones replacement in the future.
Correct.
And this helps you now. Like, it still
Yeah.
helps you now. There's
Yeah.
so many ways that I think 2025 Peter Woods wasn't really used to his full potential. I have been a firm believer, too. I know everybody's shouting corner right now. I don't think the Chiefs
Not
are
me.
the type of team who's going to need to reach for a corner, one. And then, like I said, I really love the day 2 corner class. So I think you could pick up a lot of guys once you get into that range, because they pick a 9th again in the second, that you could find somebody there. You're not going to find Peter Woods at pick 9 in the second. And that's just where I have to be at with it. I have a lot of the corners still here, pretty close on my board, so I go there.
Yep. And you're going back to back because the Dolphins in the trade from Denver are now on the clock.
God, I'm so tempted to take both Avion, Terrell, and him, but I won't do it. just my Dolphins hate of their corner.
Oh, have some fun.
But ultimately, like, I think when you're looking at the Dolphins, you need flash, you need something. But I was thinking Casey Concepcion, but the biggest thing that like kind of deterred me from that was thinking about how much their offense is going to change over time. I think that would have been a pick a year ago that they would have definitely made if Jalen Waddle was traded. But the idea of who they are now, they need to be physical in the run game. Who's one of the best run game blockers at wide receiver in this class? Denzel Boston. And I can't help that I'm looking over the Space Needle right now. Sea Lion just waved to me. And I got to stay with my Washington roots. I think Denzel Boston out here would be a really good fit for the Dolphins.
Yep. And that brings us to the Patriots, who are a team that went from a team that needed everything, right, in rapid succession, turned into a team that has a few places they still need to plug and tweak, but are, obviously a team that is now going to be a dangerous team for the foreseeable future. And they have the ability to snatch up a player who, one, still has a lot of potential and growth ahead of them, and is a player that can help them along that line. And of course, you have to rotate players, right? I mean,
but Bill, I have a question. Will they
okay, I have an answer.
Will they snatch him up as fast as Vrabel snatched up Diana Rossini?
Well, I can neither confirm nor deny the nature of their relationship, Zenny. But what I can do is I can tell you that if you are on Verbo, you too can find a cozy getaway where hopefully you'll be away from the prying eyes of TMZ. So,
actually, it's New York page 6, New York yes. Post page 6.
Yes, them as well. The Patriots see the ability to grab a player who is going to help them, is a developing player, but more importantly, is a player that has a certain amount of versatility. They can play like a nose, so they're not really a true nose. Can play the 3, can play the 4-eye, and that is one Mr. Caden McDonald from Ohio State. He is a player I still think has, as they say, his best football ahead of him.
Oh, man. So originally I was going to go in a different direction, but I think that ultimately there's still a need for playmakers on defense for Seattle, even though they have so many different varieties of players. I think Avion Terrell has fallen to a far enough path where they sit there at 32. They're taking BPA. Originally, I was actually going to go Chase Pasantes because I think he's like a perfect fit with Seattle, like in every single possible way. And I love Pregnon to death. But I think if you see Avion Terrell at pick 32, it would be really hard pressed for the Seahawks, who love their DBs so much. They would have to take it.
I cannot disagree. We are now through round 1. Let's keep the party rolling.
Gentlemen, if you guys can play on, I have a seat of my mom and get her meds. And
yeah, check on your mom. We'll keep going. The Jets are now back on the clock. Once again, it helps that they can use literally everything. And they have, as was pointed out, a solid offensive line. So now they can start adding pieces on both offense and defense and other places, particularly players that, maybe they had rated a little higher, have now made it to them. I think they're going to be thrilled and excited to see that one Jacob Rodriguez is still available. He is just a born playmaker. A guy who literally was a quarterback, a guy who has the ability to, he's a stat stuffer, right? It's like one of those guys like Luka Doncic, right, where he's got steals and block shots and rebounds and assists, and it's sort of like that. He's got interceptions, he's got forced fumbles, recovered fumbles, safeties, pick sixes, scoop and scores, sacks, tackles for loss, pass breakups. He's the kind of player that, for whatever reason, big plays find him, right? He has instincts. He is a natural leader on defense, and they could use leaders. They could use guys that people gravitate towards, and they could use culture makers on this team, and I think they found one. And that brings us to...
Who is it? Who is the pick?
Oh, that was Jacob Rodriguez. Pick 33. And now at pick 34, we have the Arizona Cardinals and one Blake Miller. They are rather pleasantly surprised that they made it to him, that that player made it to him. They thought he might have been snatched up by somebody in the first. He was a high-level wrestler, which is something I always care about. Another guy that has really good football IQ. And while he's not like a flat-out like murderer, right, a guy that's just out there like throwing people around, because of his wrestling background, he has really good balance. He has really good core strength, and his ability to stay on his feet, right, which I value in offensive linemen, is that when they are on the ground.
I think he's like one of the most pro-ready right away tackles as well. Blake Miller's just a guy who's going to like come in day one. He provides a little bit more stability in terms of a floor than a Lomu and a Monroe Freewing and like those types of guys, Caden Proctor. Like
Right.
Day one, he's going to be really ready. Is the ceiling the same? No. But at the same time, like the day one impact you get could be huge for the Cardinals. And they need day one players.
Okay, that puts the Titans on the clock. And the highest rated player still available on their board. And really the only real two knocks. The only real two knocks on this player. One is he's not, the most flexible or bendy guy in the world. And number two, he's got a little, off the field sauce, little this, little that, little something. Not even a red flag, more like a orange flag. But Zion Young is a powerful, angry man. And he plays football angry. And if you like angry football, you're going to like Zion Young. He literally said, and Jordan, I think, was right next to me when he said it, his favorite thing about football is the violence. Take with that what you will. The man likes the violence. And the Raiders are now on the clock. Okay, so once again, the Raiders are looking to build around their young and talented quarterback, but also they would like to improve other areas as well. So let's see, amongst the players that fit what they do, what they like, and most importantly, are still available to be drafted. The player that will be selected here.
They're the ones most heartbroken about Blake Miller going before him.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a little bit of residual sadness there. So the player that will be selected, though, is one Jan Cactus Howell from Texas A&M.
Good fit.
Yeah, he fits what they do. And even if he's not a full-time starter right away, even if you're just putting him in as like a designated pass rusher, he gives you immediate production. Even if he's playing 30, 35, 37, 38% of the snaps, I can still see him being a guy that gives you 6 to 7 sacks as a part-time player. And that puts the Giants on the
Who's the Giants again?
I think that's me, unless somebody wants them.
I can
I'm
take.
showing
I mean, I
picture
can
off
take
on
them if need be.
There it is. There it is. Boom. The Giants. You are now on the clock. Who just raised
Wait,
their
who?
hand?
I think
that-
me and Jay both said the same time.
Oh,
can
you
take them,
said.
Jay.
Okay. Well, flip a coin or something.
No, Jay can have them. It's fine.
Oh, Jay, congratulations. You're on the clock.
Sweet. Always wanted to own the Giants. Anyways, what was their pick in round 1? If you'd be so
Francis,
kind.
right?
Yep.
Ah, nice. All right. Well, they could go wide receiver. They could go linebacker. They could go guard.
Good.
I don't love the safety class right here, except for maybe one guy. Can you filter through wide receivers, guards, and linebackers for me?
See it, linebackers.
Yep.
Still some
Good options
plentiful
here. There's some
names.
good options. I think they're going to try and prioritize trying to give as much weapons as possible for their guy. Let's get them Casey Concepcion.
Love that pick.
Let's just get some nasty amounts of speed on the outside with him. Wandale left, but they still do have, I'm spacing on his name, wide receiver from last year's draft or the year before.
Well, they added Donnell Mooney in free agency
Yeah.
as well as they signed Calvin Austin from the Steelers as well.
Let's just go full speed on the outside. Give him a lot of options. And Calvin Austin, I don't trust his health, unfortunately, with his size.
Yeah.
Could be interesting, but we need more bodies there.
All right, there's Bill.
Disappearing, reappearing.
Yep. So who was
Bill
the selection
Carroll.
again?
KC for the
Casey
Giants.
Concepcion.
Concepcion. Oh.
Concepcion.
That is a lovely pick. And he gives you essentially a better version of Wandale Robinson.
Yep. All right, who's Houston? Oh, I think that was Zennie. He's gone, right?
That was Zennie, so I will consult. Give me a moment. Okay. So the good news is that some of the players they really like are still there. But which of them? That's a great question. So I think they're going to attack these. This is a really, really good team, right? They don't have a lot of like giant, obvious holes, but they definitely could continue to build that offensive line. And let me just confirm, Emmanuel Pregnon is still available, correct?
Pregnon is still available.
Yes, sir.
Not anymore.
As is
he will
Chase
now-
Pistonsis, as
he
is
will not
all the
find
centers.
his way.
No, Trey Zoom got taken.
Yeah, they took Trey Zennie with the first pick.
Crazy. Depends on if you see him as a center or as a guard, but yeah.
See him all the way around, man. Manu Ginobili.
Yes, there you go.
Who
So
do you-
now
who are
they're
you
going to
thinking?
turn what was a weakness into a strength. The interior of that offensive line, which was probably the weakness of the team,
What's the pick?
now to be one of the
Pregnon.
strength.
Emmanuel Pregnon, I believe.
Yes. Pregnon.
All right. Okay. All right. I'm back up. Carno Tate, Caden Proctor. Cleveland's having a pretty good draft so far.
Pretty good day at the office, yes.
Um,
Andrew Berry sniffing out that extension.
yeah, absolutely. So like there's a few things on the board I still like. Just think about Cleveland overall though. They have a fantastic defense.
Yep.
Their best corner is getting old.
Yep.
And they really don't have another guy on the other side of him. So we're gonna go with D'Angelo Pond here.
Love it.
Oh.
How he's still here, I'm shocked.
Yeah, so you give them Carno Tate, you give them Caden Proctor, and then you give them D'Angelo Pons. I think they're closing the gap a little bit in the AFC North. If they
Any
can get some
concerns
yeah.
that
If you
people
get
had
some-
about Matt's integrity can now be completely flushed.
Yeah, like I mean, if they get any type of play out of the quarterback position, look out. Cleveland would be dangerous with this draft.
Good luck scoring points on them.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh man. So I know I was just talking about how I'm going to get corner later. Yeah, I'm still going to get corner later because TJ Parker is the ideal chief fit as a pass rusher, and he was someone I was honestly contemplating taking earlier.
Jordan is refusing to give the Chiefs corners.
Hey, you know what our argument is? Jalen Watson was a 6th round pick, baby, and we you know what we do have?
But
TJ
Trip
Parker,
McDuffie
Peter Woods,
Trip McDuffie was the 1st round pick. He was their best corner.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll develop corners later because we're taking TJ Parker because he's the ideal edge fit for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs
and we're pairing Peter Woods with.
They lost both their starting corners, and we're going to go into the 4th round without a corner.
You're dang right.
I mean, you don't need corners if they're getting to the pass rush.
I guess that's the philosophy, right? If you stack the quarterback on every play, then it doesn't matter.
We'll find corners.
I guess.
We'll find corners. No worries.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off.
It's definitely a bold strategy.
We'll create corners, man. That's the way.
Be like, hey, we'll grab a 4th round guy, and we'll guarantee he'll be good somehow.
Yeah, we'll find a way. We're the Chiefs.
All right, who's the Bengals?
I mean, just have all the rushers going in the Spags defense, you know?
That's back to me then. Let's see. The thinking of teams that could really use almost everything on defense. The opposite of what we just saw there.
They took
the Bengals lost not just their best pass rusher on the team, but the best pass rusher they've had in a generation, really. And while it's unlikely they can replace that player immediately, they can probably find someone who's pretty close in one R. Mason Thomas from Oklahoma.
That's some good tape right there.
That's some good tape right there. That's exactly correct.
Damn the underwear Olympics. The tape don't lie.
JT, you the Saints, right?
I am, and I'm thinking about what I want to do here. I feel like they were the team that I was like hoping Rodriguez falls to as a linebacker, but he's gone, and I don't know if I like any of the linebackers that are right here. I think the next guy would be Anthony Hill, Jake Galde or Anthony Hill. I don't know if people like Hill as an all-around player. I know people like him as pretty athletic, but I don't think this team needs a body at receiver. Can I see what the receivers look like right now? I think I'm gonna give them Jeremy Bernard.
Okay.
From Alabama. And I think the reason why I didn't go him over Chris Bell is I think they just need a player. Because I think right now their third receiver that they would have in personnel is Mason Tipton, if I'm correct in that statement. I don't think you want to trot out there with Mason Tipton as your third starting wide receiver. And I think Bernard is just a player that is super consistent. I think his floor is high. I think he's a low ceiling player, but I think he will give you good snaps from day one. And I think they just need another human being who's a competent receiver alongside Chris Olave.
Yes.
And I think Devon Bailey also did a good job for them this past season. So
that a lot of things about that pick make perfect sense.
All right, Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
That's you, Jordan.
That is you,
yes,
Jordan.
sir. I was thinking for a second.
That's what that was. Jesus.
Yeah. Ultimately, I was thinking about a couple different directions, but I'm coming down to the one that I still think should be the pick. And we've already gone corner. We've gone wide receiver. We can double dip in corner. Colton Hood is such a perfect fit for them, but ultimately, I'm going to actually move away from that, and I'm going to take Chase Basantes. because their guard play was horrific last year, and I still think Chase Basanta is a top 32 player in this class. I think that was my pick for the Seattle originally, and then Avian Terrell fell, so like it ultimately made me move away. But I still think that Chase Basanta is a hell of a guard in this league, and I think like you found your day one starter. And he's a day one starter ready to start right now, in the in-between of what everybody says about Ione and the in-between of everybody says about Pregnon. He's in the middle of the debate.
He would start with probably 20 to 22 teams in the NFL right out of the box.
Yep.
All right. Jets up. Jets, Jets.
Yes. The Jets luckily have a lot of picks because they have a lot of things to fix. Okay.
Funny how that works out.
Yeah. Yes. If you saw the Jets, you saw they played hard, right? You can say what you want. People said a lot of things about Aaron Glenn, and some of those things were very kind. But that team played hard. Did they play well? But they played hard. Now, with the way the board has shaken out, I think that the player who sort of best has a chance to give them an impact more against the run than against the pass, but really impact that team that wants to be one of the better defenses in the NFL is one Lee Hunter from Texas Tech. He is your classic jamming up everything guy, right? He is. It's like when like that great uncle of yours who doesn't get enough roughage in his diet visits on Thanksgiving, right, and clogs everything up. That is what Lee Hunter does. Only not to your actual toilet. Thank you. But
now all four of the guys I said could sneak into round one. I didn't say they all would, but all four of them have been taken in the second.
This board is falling really interesting for me with the Ravens. Caleb Banks is a guy that just a month and a half ago you'd have been like, no way he'll be here, but he has a broken foot now amongst the rest of his injury history, and then also some shoddy film that isn't too impressive. So this fall actually makes sense for him. But I'm going to shock some people. The Baltimore Ravens at pick 45 are going to take Georgia State's Ted Hurst. Wow.
Yes.
You know you're not doing any of us.
This is pleasing. These words please Jesus. Draft Jesus.
You know, I've been team Ted Hurst 45 for a fat minute now.
Yeah, I mean, I just think he's 6'3", 195 pounds, prototypical X.
He's like 209 or something.
Yeah, now he's 207. He's coming in.
Well, yeah, he's bulked up. He's bulked up, but he is the prototypical X. And then the words just keep popping in my head. EDC saying it's haunted him that he's not been able to find the X receiver, the big X receiver, right? And so, Jordan, when you think about some of the picks I've made tonight, I've talked about guys checking the boxes, right? The reason why Proctor's now back up is because he's gone and checked the pre-draft process. Ted Hurst has done nothing but check the pre-draft process.
All of them.
That he cannot help that he played at Georgia State, but he couldn't help how he played at Georgia State, which is he dominated. Then he went to the Senior Bowl and he showed the same level of domination. You know, he had one of the highlights of Senior Bowl week with the one-hand catch over tight coverage. And then he goes to the combine and he runs fast. He catches everything. He moves quickly. He jumps high. I mean, he is. They have him here projects as a day 3 receiver. I think you could throw that out of the window. Whenever they wrote this was clearly before the draft process was finished, and Ted Hurst ain't gonna make it out of the day 2.
Finally, somebody else takes Ted Hurst ahead of Chris Bell in the second round, like me.
My comp friend was Carl Pickens. For those who remember Carl Pickens.
Yeah, I love Carl Pickens. I actually comped him to the other Pickens, George. So he can be a Pickens either way.
I can't be mad at that. Yeah, but
Carl or George.
Is that classic, right? That guy who, and for a guy who, as long as he has a really good job of getting out of his breaks too.
Yeah. I took him here. I thought about waiting to the 3rd round, but I feel like that receiver run is going to happen somewhere between this pick right here and when we pick again at 80, and then I'm going to be sitting there, you know, with my number 1 option being Brennan Thompson, you know, or CJ Daniels, and I'm going to be like, nah. Take him now. We got the weapons out of the way. Now we can go shopping for the trenches, the interior offensive line, defensive line, and later in the rounds. But you got Sadiq, you got Hurst. Lamar Jackson is a happy camper. Now go get some guys that can block for him. And
So you didn't want to be haunted the way that Eric DeCosta's haunted. Apparently.
Yeah, no, man. Because I mean, if you really look at it, the Ravens just need a center, to be honest. I think Emory Jones will start. He's a 3rd-round pick from last year, and they signed John Simpson 12 minutes into free agency. So, I just think that's kind of telling you the guys they have, they want, and then they're going to add depth as well. So,
that's right. And that brings
Jay's Tampa Bay, and then we got Jay's first. Yep. With the Colts, with his actual team.
Tampa is actually fairly pleased with the way the board has shaken out. And while there are 1 or 2 players they really liked that got selected, they were big on Peter Woods, but whatever, they'll live with that. But for the most part, the players they like have made it to them so far today. I think that based on what is sort of sitting there staring them in the face, they're just going to take the highest rated player on their board and stop messing around with it. They're going to go ahead and just grab up one Mr. Gabe Yakus from the University of Illinois. Sorry, kids. I know. Now, ILL, nice deep run also in the NCAA men's tournament for the first time since the old Flying Illini of 1989, which dates back to when the year before I started at Illinois. But here's the things you like about him: knows how to set edges. Pound for pound, probably one of the strongest players in the draft. I mean, he is a weight room warrior, right? And doesn't mind doing the less fun stuff. Like, doesn't mind attacking the run. Doesn't mind even taking on double teams at times, which you don't normally ask a true defensive end to do. But occasionally in the defense that Illinois plays, there's times when he would take, a jam a pulling guard or take on both a tight end and a tackle and basically keep them stymied to keep a linebacker clean or keep a blitzing safety clean to shoot in. Other things you like about him is he's a really good athlete too, right? On top of all the other stuff, he's really, really explosive and athletic. I feel like the floor for him is like the Anthony Spencer guys, right? Like that's the floor. Like the worst you're getting at is like all those Cowboys defensive ends, the Anthony Spencers and the DeMarcus Lawrence. Like that's the floor for him. Ceiling could be a guy that has maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 double-digit sack seasons before it's all said and done. So yeah, I feel like he's going to make that a better defense in all the ways that you can make a defense better. Sorry.
In case you guys didn't catch it, I'm upset with this pick.
I began to suspect that you might have not liked that.
Jay's been picking Yakuza in every mock that I've seen.
Okay.
Gabe, listen.
I love this though. Jay's practice
has a J in it, and I will not be silent about Bacchus.
Jay, listen. This is good practice. This gets you the chance to see what it would be like to have to pick someone else if he's not there, okay? Because
well, I do have a good plan B here because I did like Gabe Bacchus. Zion Young went early. There are other pass rushers available, so go to DE. Por favor.
Por favor is crazy.
I am going to go with. I could also go linebacker. Dick Golday's there. He's very tempting. Anthony Hill's there. And the Colts linebacker room does not look good. No. However, if there's one position that I trust Ballard to hit on, irregardless of anywhere that he picks, it's linebacker. So we're going to wait on linebacker right now. And we're just going to go get freaky. All right? Indianapolis Ross Colts select Malachi Lawrence.
Okay, there you go.
Get the pass rush upside, baby.
I mean, they need pass rush upside.
Bill, can I take Atlanta here?
His comp is very similar to like Trey Hendrickson, Leatu Latu kind of vibes. The only question is the level of competition that he had. How is he as like an edge setter? He's more of a gap shooter in the run.
Yeah, right. That his actual like core and lower body strength is kind of a question. Yeah.
Exactly. He gives up a little too much ground whenever he's asked to like anchor in. Right. So, like, as long as he's not, he could be more of like a situational guy, maybe more as like a designated pass rusher early on. But the Colts need that anyways. So we'll take that and just shoot for the moon, see what happens. Ballard has not really hit on second round defensive ends, but you know what? You got to keep rolling the dice.
Yep.
Let me take this Falcons pick, Bill. This is their first pick of the day.
All right.
This would have fallen perfectly for them. Because in my opinion, they get a top 30 player here at 48 for obvious reasons that we've already mentioned. But Caleb Banks would be a steal here. They lost Grady Jarrett last offseason.
Yeah.
Lost Grady Jarrett. Didn't quite really replace him on the interior of that defensive line. They did get James Pierce Jr., whom, he's had some trouble. And so we will see how that all shakes out. He'll probably be suspended. Who knows? He maybe not. We all thought Rashee Rice would get suspended, and he's not getting suspended. So maybe not. But if Caleb Banks can stay healthy and if he can be coached and developed into the player that we've seen at times, this is an absolute steal for Atlanta Falcons because with James Pierce Jr., with what's the kid they got from Georgia last year, the linebacker, Jalen Walker. Yep. With Jalen Walker and Caleb Banks, now you have your foundation of that young defense that was already good last year, getting even better this year.
Absolutely.
I agree. I'm from the Atlanta area, and I've got a lot of Falcons fans. I'm actually doing this pick for your draft. So I actually if I was to take this, I was going to do a defensive end. I was going to do Christian Miller. I'm pretty sure the entire Falcons organization went to Georgia Pro Day. I think they're actually with literally every player there. I think they would love CJ Allen as a linebacker. They also have a linebacker need. They love Zachariah Branch. Had a top 30 visit with him as well as we're at the Pro Day. But I mean, Caleb Banks is right there. And they're playing Rook Ororo from Clemson as a nose tackle right now, and that brother is just not a nose tackle in the NFL. So like they need a run stopper and a big body like yesterday, and they only have 5 picks, so they really got to hit on every single one of these players. And I think Caleb Banks' upside is, like you're saying, if he's there, it's imminent. So this is a great pick for them, and so him being there for them, I mean, they're doing backflips in Flowery Branch if Caleb Banks is.
Jordan, man, you talked about this during the Senior Bowl. Like, if Caleb Banks is such a conundrum because healthy and on a good day, he's a top 10 pick. You know what I'm saying? But this is too many question marks. It's injury. He already had an injury question before the broken foot that he just sustained. And then the tape is like it's hot and cold, right? And so if you can get this
more
kid
cold
to play,
than hot,
and exactly, and if you can get this kid to play hot all the time, I mean, one, being a part of a good defense makes you play better, makes you play harder because you're looking at everybody else flying around making plays, and you're like, hold on, I can't sit here and just not do nothing. Also, Stefanski is just coming the way. He just left a team where his defense was like the number 1 defense in the league. He knows and understands the value of having a good defense. So,
I mean, and also, Jeff Ulbrich was like, they basically like told Stefanski, like, please, you gotta let us keep him, and they blocked him from going anywhere else. So I think Jeff Ulbrich is an amazing defensive coordinator. So I also think he's a no BS guy. So if Caleb Banks is like not wanting to give the effort, I mean, I think they'll get on to him, and I think I like.
Quick question: was it over in New York with Saleh?
With Saleh,
yeah, he was.
So he was
in San Francisco with Saleh too.
Yeah, so he was there when they had Quinnen. Okay, yeah. So makes a lot of sense.
Yep. Right. Now that puts Minnesota on the clock.
That's
I'm
Jay.
back, baby. Now, this was a scenario that worked out perfectly for the Vikings, where they were able to get Jeremiah Love somehow at 18. They passed up on Thieneman, and now they have the opportunity to get definitely a different type of guy than Thieneman. But if we're talking about they still want a playmaker in the back end, let's give them AJ Halsey.
I love AJ Halsey. Love him.
Mm-hmm.
Stud. He's a stud, man. I would take him with the Ravens, but I just feel like we got too many safeties.
Right.
Yeah, that's the one thing you guys should not draft right now. Is just stop
Yeah.
with the safeties. Let someone else have a chance at a back
Somebody
end
else
of the
with the safety.
secondary.
Yes.
No.
Can we have some safety? No, we want all the safeties.
Yeah.
Is that just going to be your defense? Just 11
Yeah.
safeties
11
lined up
yeah.
on the field?
We're gonna
Just
just
like
keep
the Orioles
drafting
in the West,
one. I mean, I
line
think they're gonna
shortstops,
keep
man.
drafting one until they find Ed Reed again. I guess they figure, law of averages. Eventually, they'll find Ed Reed again if they keep drafting.
Yeah. They can never stop drafting him.
Good luck.
They can never always not.
He said, "Good luck." Hey,
Right. So
well,
If
we
you're
were
looking to
lucky
find
get him
Ed
the first
Reed,
time.
you're going to have to wait a long time.
That you're gonna have a hard time.
but I guess the philosophy is you can't find another Ed Reed if you can't keep drafting safeties. I guess that's the
Yeah,
philosophy.
exactly.
It's the only way to get there is just to keep at
And,
it.
and even when we found Ed Reed, he was like in the 20s in the first round. It wasn't even like he was a top 10 pick. He was he was in the 20s.
Pick 24, right?
23, I think. Yeah.
23.
So
Hey,
So,
that's high for a safety, though. That's the thing.
But yeah, I mean, but that shows you, like, if all the teams in the league, the 22 teams that passed on him, knew he was going to be Ed Reed, he would have went probably number one.
Which draft was he in? 2001, correct?
No, he was 2002, I think.
yeah.
Ah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Tall Heat was 2001.
right. Yes. The Lions are thrilled with the way this has turned out.
Yeah.
Colton Hood fixes a potential multitude of problems for them because he has some inside and some outside experience. He will probably do a little bit of both for them. They're going to move Brian Branch around, and they're going to probably invite at least one of their former starting corners to not start. So this gives them an opportunity to, improve the quality depth and plug what has been a serious hole in their back half of their defense.
Thing I love about him too is he's like so versatile in terms of scheme fits. He can fit so many different schemes.
Correct.
Mhm.
And they could need that. They do need that.
Mm.
And that puts the Panthers.
Yeah, that was Zennie.
Right. So this is another run to the podium situation. The Panthers are going to run to the podium and grab Mr. Brandon Cisse, the cornerback from South Carolina.
Nice.
All right, Green Bay's on the clock with their first pick of the draft.
And that would have been Donovan, but Donovan not here. So Donovan did give us a board. So let's take a look at what's on Donovan's board. Also, Montel has a board too. Let me reach out to Montel Hardy when his pick comes back up.
Gigantic corners, baby. That's what Green Bay does.
They do like gigantic corners, but there's not really any available at this point.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to reach over like Prysock. I don't think they're going to do that or something like that. Or his teammate who's also like 6'3". But
Yeah.
I don't think this is
Washington went all in on big corners there.
You think? Apparently, like they said, oh, Seattle, you like big corners? You don't have to look anyplace else, right?
I'm just saying it because I saw it was so funny. This guy in a space literally had D'Angelo Pons fall to them, and he took him. And the guy, like right here at this pick, and the guy was losing his mind. He's like, the Packers would never draft a corner that small.
Well, the good news is you'll never know that he's that small when he's on the film.
Correct.
He plays big.
He doesn't know he's that small. Speaking of the Panthers are going to grab. Somebody mentioned Kristen Miller a second ago. They're grabbing it. Come on, Mr. Kristen Miller. He's going to once again. It's a position where you have to have a certain amount of depth. He's going to be part of that rotation and eventually, become the guy in the middle. But while he's working his way in, he's going to be a rotational player.
Nice. And now we're back to you, Bill. With your
That's right. It is back to me. Oh, how exciting!
Uh-huh.
Well, you know what? Anthony Hill, come on down. What the heck? Now we have officially turned a weakness into a strength. We are now going to have
Goodbye, Patrick Queen.
Well, no offense to Patrick Queen, but I felt like we could do better. And
I felt like we could do
too.
better. It's like when somebody break up with you. I feel like I could do better. You know,
It's not you.
I was
it's just definitely
I was
you.
settling. I was settling. I felt like I was
Right.
settling in this relationship.
It's not you, it's the tape.
Don't tell him that on X because he will respond to you and he will be angry at you if you tell him that
Yes.
you could do better.
Yes.
That's,
And I like that he has the confidence, right? I like that he feels that he's a good player. I wish I could agree with him.
yeah, man, you're gonna send that tweet out, and then right afterwards, you'll see 2 more tweets about how much he hates Pittsburgh's food.
Oh, that's right. Fermantes is overrated, and who puts fries on a sandwich?
And now
Yeah,
the
I
Philadelphia Eagles are on the clock.
Oh, the fun just never stops.
Just keeps building.
You know what? It's not a huge, gigantic, stinking need, but what the heck? Come on, Jadarian Price. Come on down.
For the Eagles?
Yeah, what the heck?
For the Eagles.
You got a nice little returner in there.
Nice little
Nice.
returner.
I know my guy in the chat is going crazy, and I'll First he was tripping about the CJ Allen pick. Now he's probably about to jump off of. We should check in on him.
Check in.
Good looking people, everyone.
Who's got the Chargers?
Me.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
All right. Could you kindly show defensive linemen, both edge and tackle?
Oh, look at little Grayson Alton there. The guy.
That could be an interesting spot for him.
Good.
Is Romello interesting? If they want to go speed, it has a 3-4. Scroll back up, por favor. All
Wait,
right.
Mikel Kamara? I thought you liked him, Jay.
I like him. I don't love him, especially at this spot. Jeez.
He should be available for you later if you like.
Oh, yes. For
No,
sure.
we'll see. Jay's picking for all those teams, man.
Hey, I've not gone Indiana guys for a minute now, all right?
No, I know. It's just fun.
Jeez, you get stereotyped one time and you never get.
So you're saying it's going to be like, it's going to be Stephen Daly, then it's going to be Aiden Fisher, then it's going to be, so as you're saying, like boom, boom, boom.
The funny thing is,
Let's go Riley Nowakowski right here.
Towards Jay,
Chargers select Kalon Black.
The Chargers, they are going to go with, let's give them Danny Dennis Sutton.
There we go.
That's a hardball pick. I've seen one. That's definitely a hardball pick.
That's a very hardball pick, actually.
I thought you were going to take Derek Moore. I feel like that's actually the hardball
I
pick
mean,
of all.
I was
very
thinking
hardball
Derek
pick,
Moore for a
actually.
second.
I'll take the I'll take the Jags as well. I like
It's
taking
off my
these teams
board.
who haven't picked yet. So just picking up all the teams that haven't picked yet. So I'll take this.
There
It's
you
like
go.
the Broncos when we get there.
All right, so thinking about the Jags, they just announced that Travis Hunter is going to be a full-time corner now, so that's interesting.
But I mean, that's just, they realized they could have either a guy who's kind of good at 2 positions or great at 1, and they finally came, I think, the right decision.
Yeah, I'm sure. I wonder if they convinced him or they just told him. Well, it was all fun coming out of Colorado when he could say, "I want to be this," and then once you sign that contract, you can be whatever we tell you to be. Anyway, he's good now. I think he'll be happy. But so they got to, I think that makes their cornerback room better. Just having him focus on that. They do have a good tight end, but I think they could use another one. Linebacker position could be upgraded. They got Trayvon Walker extended.
Yep.
So receivers
deal for
interesting
him.
now though, because I know Parker Washington is a guy who's. I think one of the reasons why they said Travis just focus on corner because Parker Washington really exploded last year.
Right.
To me, in this 56, it's your first pick. Just take the best player that you can possibly take. You know, and if I'm Jacksonville here, I'm going to go get a guy with some upside. Needs to get a little healthy. I'm gonna go Chris Bell here. Add him to that wide receiver room.
Okay.
Nice.
Because you take Travis Hunter out, so now you still have a need at receiver. Yes, you do have Myers. You have Parker Washington, and then BTJ. Who, I mean, is he on the trade block? Is he not? We don't know. But if you decide to trade him, I think Chris Bell is some pretty good insurance. Plus, he's a different type of receiver than all the rest of the other guys.
Right.
And you're not forced to start him right now because I think there are 3 players that you got so far.
Right.
They're
And you can let him help. You can let him get healthy.
yeah.
Mm.
You can let him get healthy. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna go Stowers there when you were like scrolling back and forth. And
Yeah,
I thought about it, but then I thought, like, he doesn't give you much as a tight end overall, as a blocker. I even heard that he made me thinking about switching to wide receiver full time.
Well,
which is what their other tight end doesn't do.
Which
either.
is what their other Strange does the same thing.
Right.
So I was like, nah,
Right.
can't 2 tight ends that can't block. So
just to remind you, was it 3 years ago? He and Diego Pavia were battling it out for the quarterback job at Mexico State.
yeah.
Right. So you can't expect him to be a dominant blocker when he was, in 2022, 2023, he was a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And 25, he's a tight end, and 26, he might be a receiver.
Yeah, because the report just came out like literally the other day that he's thinking about. Teams have talked to him about transitioning to just full-time wide receiver and just be a Mike Evans type of guy. So
only faster.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
Chicago.
So, Chicago has a need at D tackle, and guess what? It's a great D tackle group, and they're going to bring down one L'Orange in L'Orange, right? La Grosse L'Orange, right? The big orange in big citrus in Dominique Orange. He is your classic old school, Vince Forkian, Sam Adams, Ted Washingtonian. He is
6'4", 325.
Gilbert Brown, all those guys. He's a guy who is 2 good meals away from having his own gravitational pull. And they have not had a player like that in a long time.
Damn, this man is calling him a black hole.
All right, I'm on the clock for the 49ers, and I think I gave them you're not sure the first round, so I'm gonna. You don't have me looking at the edge room or what the edge board looks like right now. If you can sort by edges. I'm just not in love with the edges at this point right now.
There's a run on them.
Yeah. It's like I don't really. I've heard a little bit of Joshua Joseph, but I'm not really too sure with who that player is.
Those 2 are the last 2 of my day 2 group, to be honest. I'm not as fan of mostly everybody past that. Ramel Hyde I kind of like, but it just has to be in the right environment. But I like Joshua Joseph there more.
Okay, so I'm not gonna. Let's see the guard. I think the next guard is Keelan Rutledge, and I don't know. I've heard. I mean, his range has gotten long. Usually be only 3rd round for him, and now it's he might go in the fight. Peter Shager is hearing he might get closer to the 1st round now. So maybe we go in the middle here and say that we do middle of the 2nd round. So you can give me Keelan Rutledge from Georgia Tech.
Okay.
I want to pick for the Broncos, by the way, when we get there.
Yes.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes.
You're on the clock again.
Yes. So looking at the board, Wait, let me just confirm something. Now, obviously, you're sort of bringing, as you said, bringing Coles to Newcastle. But I just want to confirm though, is Derek Moore still on the board?
Yes,
He is still on the board.
Well, despite the fact that this is obviously a position of depth, this is by a significant factor the highest rated player still left on our board. So we're just going to go ahead and snap him up.
All right, Chicago.
This actually worked out pretty well for Chicago. They are looking at a couple of players and they like what they see. This is a player that they had been studying, looked at, liked a lot of things about, and was hotly discussed. And they finally said, whatever. If the player's there, when our pick comes back around, we're going to snap him up. We're going to go ahead and put our paws on, wrap our arms around whatever term we want to use. One Jake Golday from Cincinnati.
Nice.
He's a fun player. He's a guy that can. When you look at him, if you didn't know better, you look like, okay, he looks like a guy who's going to be like a Bill Romanowski type or something. But no, he can really move. He's really surprisingly good in coverage. He can cover tight ends, he can cover running backs, maybe even power slots. And of course, he's pretty darn good at running, a pretty decent blitzer as well. He's not, a pass rusher, but he knows how to blitz.
He was a former defensive lineman, correct?
Yes.
All right. So Rams.
Yes, the Rams. Well, this actually works out fairly well for them as well. I just want to confirm, Darrell Jackson Jr. still on the board?
Yes, he is.
Darrell Jackson Jr. still is on the board.
Not anymore. And then that puts Denver on the clock.
Welcome to the Rocky High Mountains. We're up here building. We're doing what we got to do, and we kind of realized that we need something a little bit more fun on our offense. We just picked up Jalen Waddle, so we're vibing. But what if we can make it even more fun? What if we could sit there and say, our defense is good enough. We have a lot of pieces on defense. It's time to surround Bo Nix with a lot of talent. And let's get Mike Washington Jr. off the board.
Okay.
Hey, yo, what?
I took this
Power in the back.
Yes.
That's crazy. Mike
You're right. That is fun. That is cooking with gas. He is your classic, hunt and peck. And when he sees it, when that crack comes, bang, right? He hits it when it's there. Nicely done, sir.
Thank you.
He also, despite his size, mind you, was the fastest player in miles per hour tracking at the Senior Bowl.
Yep.
Had a pretty good play at the
backed
combine.
up by his performance at the combine. He can accelerate. He doesn't have the world's most amazing first step, but that third step is a doozy, right? 1, 2, right? What I call that nitrous bottle, right? Once he opens that nitrous bottle up, people do not catch him in the open field.
And if they do catch him, they're going to feel some pain afterwards.
Right. Also true. That brings us to the New England Patriots. The Patriots are quite impressed and happy to see that one Chris Brazil, the second from Tennessee, is still there for them. He gives them a height, weight, speed guy, which they frankly don't have. I mean, the closest they have is Matt Collins, who is a glorified special teamer. So this is a different kind of wide receiver than the kind they've had in a while. And they could use that kind of explosive playmaker. I think this guy was in the top 6 in yards per reception, if I remember correctly. And they haven't had a guy like that in a while.
I won't take too much time with this. I'm going to take the last edge off of the board that is draftable for me in this kind of range, and that's Joshua Josephs.
There we go.
And I think he'd be a really fun fit with Seattle as well. Get that Boy Mafe replacement out there. And you get a guy who's going to be set up once Tank leaves, and it's going to be ready you can kind of afford to do a couple of risky things when you're Seattle and you already won the Super Bowl.
All right, that brings us to the third and final round
Yes.
of the day, and Arizona's on the clock.
Arizona Cardinals. So Arizona needs a lot of stuff. There's so many things they could take, but we're going to stay true to our board and take the highest rated player that is available to us, and that is one Chris Johnson, the corner from San Diego State University.
Nice pick.
Chris and Will Johnson.
The Johnsons, Johnson and Johnson, a family company.
Tennessee
is on the clock.
They went with Arvell Reese and Zion Young.
You know what? They could still use a little bit of everything.
Yes, they could still use a little bit of everything. The particular everything that is, make sure I'm not missing somebody. Yeah, the particular everything that is highest rated for their board. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a fun pick. It is Emmett Johnson, running back, Nebraska.
Oh, interesting.
They don't have a lot of depth at that position. For those who haven't been watching the Titans, which I guess is not a lot of people. The Titans don't have a lot of quality depth, really, at a lot of positions. But they're fixing that. They're fixing
Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears. They got
that's two dudes. And one of those dudes has had an injury history.
One of those dudes does not have any ligaments in his knee.
At all. Right. It's just straight bone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, while he's made it work so far, you have to wonder how long it will continue.
Right.
Mm. Cool.
All right. That takes us to
Las Vegas. Okay, beautiful Las Vegas.
Fernando and Catches.
Yes, and the highest rated player on their board is one Davison Igbinosun from Ohio State.
Interesting.
Iggy.
Yes, he has been a little grabby, so they have to work on that. The old wearing boxing gloves in practice kind of thing until he gets used to, not grabbing so much, but he is a fun player. And he's got size and speed.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're picking again for the Eagles, Bill.
That's right. Oh, this is fun. Okay. Well, you know what? Since we're having fun, and we do love Georgia players, what the heck? Come on, Zachariah Branch, join the party.
Ooh. It's a little early for Zachariah on my board, but you know what?
It is a little
I want to get all the Georgia guys
as well. But I feel like they have a plan for how they're going to use him.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're going to find him touches in space, obviously, and lots of screen game stuff, return game stuff, and even occasionally, have him come out of the backfield, right? Where, you play, one of your running backs is if you were a fullback, though he's not really a fullback, and then you have Branch in the tailback, almost like a classic I formation, forcing you to cover him with someone that cannot cover Zachariah Branch, right? He's not the world's greatest route runner, right? And he tracks the ball okay, but if you scheme up touches for him where he doesn't have to play like a normal wide receiver, he can be trouble. He can create problems for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's a better offensive weapon than he is a wide receiver, if that makes any sense.
And it does, because they have wide receivers. What they don't have is a guy who plays like Zachariah Branch.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. A lot of speed added in this draft with him and Jadarian Price now.
Yep.
All right, Houston.
Oh,
back to you, Bill.
That is.
Prognon
It's
and
a second to remember that.
Show.
Oh, well then let's keep having fun. You know what? We're gonna welcome
Bill's running. He's running round 3.
to our yeah. You know what? We're gonna keep building on the strength. Caleb Tiernan from Northwestern.
Oh,
Come on down.
Ooh.
We're going to have deep and talented offensive line play, if nothing else, if it kills us.
All right, I'm on the board with Cleveland. So far, they've taken Carnell Tate, Caden Proctor, and D'Angelo Pons. Having a fantastic draft under first-year head coach Todd Monken.
They really are.
And so this is where the ultra-athletic tight end receiver comes off the board. Eli Stowers, Harold Fanning, Eli Stowers, perfect fit in Todd Monken's wide-open scheme. You know, he runs that air raid, and this guy's perfect for that. So they can go. I know Ravens fans are probably hating how I'm cooking for Cleveland right now, but hey.
Yeah, you're kind of cooking there, Matt. You're kind of
Hey, the Browns have nowhere to go but up. Of course, they need to be cooking.
he's not destroying his credibility. He's destroying his fandom.
Yeah. Don't need the fandom as much as I need the credibility.
There it is.
You're not drafting as a Ravens
That's
fan.
that's the new Draft Nerds t-shirt, Matt.
That's a t-shirt, baby. That's a
That's
t-shirt.
the new Draft Nerds t-shirt. Like it's like fandom, and there's like a line drawn through it, right?
Yeah.
But then it's credibility with a big old green check mark.
Hey, Bill, let's start sketching some ideas after the show.
I need one with me walking up to the pearly gates and just me and Ted Hurst.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Draft Jesus brings Saint Ted to the pearly gates. So that brings us to the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, they took Caleb Downs. This is their second pick of the draft.
Yep. And they're going to keep fixing the back half of that defense because it was a problem. Keith Abney II from Arizona State, come on down.
What's up? What's up? Finally off the board.
Cincinnati.
All right.
The Bengals. They took Delane and Mason Thomas.
Hey, the R is not silent.
No, it's
That's
not.
not too shabby.
It also doesn't stand for anything. It's literally R.
Yeah, it's just R. Yeah.
It's because people in his family are all R names, and his mom couldn't think of something like good. So she's just like, I'm just gonna give you the letter R, and so you can be an R named, and so he's
R Mason.
R Mason.
That is factual.
Love that. Just completely understandable want for it, and it's just like nothing complicated, nothing it stands for. R Mason.
R Mason.
And I like that it's pronounced as R, not like a Mason.
Yeah, not a R.
Yeah.
So, not going to mess around. The Steelers once foolishly let Mike Hilton go, and he ended up making the Bengals a much better secondary, but they no longer have that option. So the next best thing, in fact, maybe a better thing, is Keontae Scott from University of Miami. He gives you that explosive. He's what Jacob Rodriguez is the linebackers. Keontae Scott is to nickel / corner / sort of safety spur.
So they go Delane and Scott.
Yes.
Nice.
Did you see their secondary?
Oh no, it was terrible. It was terrible for sure. All right, JT Saints.
The Saints. Can you sort for interior D line and linebacker? I think I know what I want to do, but just want to make sure because I don't know if this Saints team has anybody outside of Brian Brees. I know they just gave him his 5th-year option, but yeah, I mean, I think this is easy. I'm gonna take Josiah Trotter here for the New Orleans Saints.
Ooh, nice pick.
He feels like a Saint to me.
He does feel the Saint, and I mean, like he is an incredible athlete at linebacker, and I think his ceiling is a little bit higher than his brothers, unfortunately. And I think they would.
All right, boys. It's finally time to look at the
last chance to draft a corner.
Last chance. Who are the corners available?
Kansas on the clock.
I already have an idea in mind, but I have to keep in mind for the Dolphins as well. So who are the corners available?
You've already taken 2 corners for the Dolphins. I think you're.
No, I didn't take 2 corners for the Dolphins. I only took 1.
Did you? I thought you took 2. Okay.
No, not yet.
The corners are Stukes, Rivers, Moore, Everett, Muhammad.
And bring me over a trade on Stukes to have some fun.
Yes. This is about where you should go, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stoked for Stukes.
And then, can you show me your picks again? Yeah, see, 1 corner taken, not anymore, because we're also taking Malik Muhammad with the Dolphins pick.
There's a corner run. Watch out.
Yep.
All
I
right.
love Malik Muhammad.
Dale, you're up with your Steelers.
Okay. So, we were half hoping that maybe 1 or 2 of the players that just got drafted would still be there, but whatever. We'll be fine. We'll be okay. Let's take a quick look at. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and roll the dice. I believe that at worst case scenario, we're going to get a high level long-term backup, but this guy could, in the right situation, turn into a starter. Bring me Garrett Nussmeier from LSU.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's a good spot for him.
All
All right, Tampa. They went with Freeland and Yakas.
Yes.
Are you going to steal from me again?
Well, we'll see. Let's see. Is Antonio Williams still on the board?
Yes, he is.
He is still on the board.
Not anymore.
Quarterback 1.
Oh,
All right.
Left on the
wide
board.
receivers gone.
All right. Well, that was a good pick, but it's not the pick I was looking for. So if you would please filter through wide receiver and linebacker. There's a few really good options here.
Yep.
I'm going to go with the position I feel is thinning out the most, and this guy has the most unique skill set that I don't think a whole lot of people in this
I know
class
exactly where
replicate.
you're going.
I'm going to go Kyle Lewis.
I knew it.
I knew it
Linebacker
too.
out of Pitt.
Yep.
All right, Atlanta's on the clock. They get Caleb Banks to fall to them right in the second round after not having a first round pick, and then they stay put and they get another guy to fall to them.
Yes.
And that's Skylar Bell.
Yes.
You put him on the
I
other
was
side of Drake
considering
London. You put him on the other side of Drake London. He replaces what's his name that just went to New York?
Mooney. Darnell Mooney.
Mooney. He replaces Mooney. He's better than Mooney. He's a better version of what they were hoping to get from Mooney. And he goes in there. He's a perfect fit in that offense. So Skylar Bell to Atlanta, and I'm up again with my Ravens, and this is an interesting spot because there's a lot of good stuff here. Love Jennings Dunker. Jordan knows I want to just run this pick up. I already knew. But he's a guard, in my opinion. I know he took some snaps at center at the Senior Bowl, and in my opinion, Simpson and Emory Jones are going to be your starters at the guard position. You really need a center, and the best one is still on the board, and we're going to go Connor Lew here from Auburn.
There you go.
Yep, welcome home. Because in my opinion, with the Ravens, when you draft a center, you can't afford to take a project center. This is why I don't like Fano at 14, because you're drafting him not to play tackle. You would be drafting him essentially to play guard or center. He's never played neither of those positions. That's a big projection for a high pick. I'm going to take the best center in the draft, and he is a center. We don't have to worry about projecting or wondering if he can do it. We've seen him do it. The only thing is health a little bit, but I think he'll be fine.
You know what's so funny about him too is that, like, I think if we would have had a healthy Connor Lew last year, there wouldn't be a question who consensus center one is.
No. I mean, I think he's center one now, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, if it wasn't for the injury, it wouldn't even be close. He's a little bigger than Linderbaum as well, so I think he gives him a little more punch in the middle, whereas Linderbaum would get just run over at times. He's not the biggest guy, but I think he's slightly bigger than Linderbaum.
And he's
Right.
like, I mean, he's super young. Like it says here, he's like not even 21 years old. So
Yeah,
he's
right.
young.
21. Yeah, and also he's a good scheme fit for what they're going to run.
I do have a question. I think I've asked you this before, but him maybe not being ready to start the season, like and having a center need, you're okay with that? As
Yeah,
the
I think
Ravens?
that's why they brought in Jovan Gwynn from Atlanta to be kind of that insurance policy. I actually was doing a deep dive on Jovan today and watching film from the Falcons. Obviously he didn't start in the regular season because they have a really good O-line in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But Jovan he started center a lot in the preseason for them, and he played pretty well. Like he looked pretty natural at the position. I know he was originally a guard, so he'll be a combo guy. They also brought in Pinter from the Colts.
Yeah.
He didn't play a lot either, but he's got that experience to play. And so
he
yeah,
has some
I think
decent starts at center too, no?
yeah,
Like he has.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And they got Corey Bullock as well. So I think they have insurance just in case they want to slow roll Lou. But I'm gonna be honest. I think he comes in and he beats everybody out for that center position. The competition will be nice, but I don't see any of those guys, whether it be Gwynn, Pinter, or Bullock beating him out.
Mm.
I just don't even know how all four make the roster, to be honest. I don't know if they all are like technically centers.
No, they're not. So Gwynn is a guard center. Pinter is a center. So I can see a situation where all three of them make it, and they have position versatility. Bullock can play guard center. Gwynn can play guard center, and Pinter can. He's more of just a center, but I can see.
Yeah, Pinter's a guard center too. No, I'm pretty sure.
Pinter, he was able to play guard, but he was best at center with the Colts.
Okay.
He was drafted as a tackle, and he was a collegiate tight end up until like towards the very end of his career. So he's gradually been moving more and more into the center.
So you got three guys who can play different interior positions. So to give you some depth.
My buddy who's a huge Atlanta Falcons reporter down there, he was telling me like immediately after we signed Ledford, he was like, yeah, Gwynn's following him. That's his pet project. He loves Gwynn.
Yep. I said it when we were before free agency hit. Remember we were doing a space and I said, and I was looking at the available interior offensive lineman. I'm like, Jovan Gwynn from Atlanta. We just got Leffert. He's coming. And then like the next day we signed him.
Yeah, that's his little pet project. He loves it.
Yeah, that's his pet project. All right, Chris Bell went to the Jaguars. It's me again.
Yep.
And I'm going to continue to make a strength with Jacksonville. They were really good on defense last year, and I'm gonna add Grayson Halton to that defense this year.
It. Nicely done.
Add him to that defense.
All right.
Their run defense is nasty.
Back up.
Yep. Vikings back on the clock.
You had 2 more picks for the Jaguars too.
Yeah, their run defense was nasty, man. And I think Halton will come and give him some juice as a pass rusher. Minnesota, you up?
Let's go check out defensive line for a quick sec. Just want to see if there's one guy still on the board.
Get Rayshon Benny finally getting some love.
You know, I was thinking I might go defensive line, but I think that the Vikings, after seeing Connor Lew go and knowing that they just had Ryan Kelly retire, they are going to say, you know what? What the heck? We're going Sam Hecht.
I like it. What the heck?
Yeah.
We're going Sam Hecht.
I like it too, actually. Okay.
My top few centers on my top 10 interior. So I separated the guards and the centers this year because I thought both groups were that deep. And my top 2 centers are Lew and Hecht.
And Hecht is a very good fit for what they like to do. They're a zone-heavy blocking scheme. Hecht has a lot of good movement and agility skills. He did really well in zone scheme at Kansas State. I think it's a really natural fit. He kind of gives me some of these Garrett Bradbury vibes. So, ironically, he goes to the Vikings.
Yeah.
All right, Carolina. They went Lomu and Sis.
Yes.
So, ironically, he goes.
Right, Carolina. They went Lomu and Sis. We got a
Yeah, we have a delay here.
Yeah, we have a delay.
A very delayed echo.
Yes.
I think it might be Zennie as he's coming back.
Oh, did I do something? No. Is it
So-
still delayed? Did it delay stop?
Which the
It sounds like it's
highest.
gone now.
Yep. I just want to double confirm, but I believe Austin Barber is still on the board.
Yes,
He is still on the board.
Who?
Not
Austin
anymore.
Barber out of Florida.
Is that working for everybody?
Yep.
We have 220
so far, so
viewers.
good.
Nice.
This is the most consecutive viewers we have had in a long time.
Go to a tackle.
Yeah, tackles.
Do we have tackle? Oh,
OT.
there it is.
There he is.
Had to find him.
Disrespectful.
Yeah, I had to search for him.
No, but that's disrespectful
Right.
from that low, though. That's crazy.
Yeah, he is super low.
Yeah.
All right, Green Bay.
Okay, so the Green
They
Bay
went
Packers.
Kristen Miller with the first pick.
Yes. And let's take a look at somebody did take Malachi Lawrence, right?
Yes.
Yep. Colts.
I thought so.
Pretty
Okay.
much all the
Yeah.
ages are
Oh,
taken.
yes, that makes sense. Thought so.
Your next best edge is like Romello height.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's take a look then at. I believe LT Overton's still on the board, though.
Yeah, yes, he is.
Yes, he should be.
What the heck? Come on down, LT.
LT, and that, you can never go wrong with an edge rusher named LT.
It is one of the better football nicknames / names.
Yeah.
All
right.
the LTs
Steelers.
have been good.
Yeah.
All right, your Steelers, Bill.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Boy. Not gonna mess around. Not gonna waste any time. We are just gonna, run up there and grab ourselves a handful of Elijah Surratt.
Nice.
Man, what are you guys building? Skyscrapers in Pittsburgh? I mean, you got Pittman Jr., you got DK Metcalf, then you got Elijah Surratt.
Well, first of all of these guys are good downfield blockers, right? That's one thing. And then, yes, there's more than one way to create separation, right? You don't have to necessarily juke somebody. You can just go over.
Just go over him.
And Surratt can go over people.
I think the funniest tweet I've seen about Surratt today is Mina Kimes and Benjamin Solak did a thing today, and they're like, "Oh, the Raiders should trade back up to the first round for Denzel Boston." And Solak was like, Mendoza needs his Elijah Surratt. And people were like, why can't they just go and get Elijah Surratt and pick right next? And like he can just have himself, like
and just get Elijah Surratt back.
Yeah, like don't trade
and
up
that's
for
a trend that's been happening in the NFL recently, where teams have been drafting the quarterback and the receiver from the same school.
I love when teams do that. I truly do love when teams do that.
I know the Colts did that back in the day with Andrew Luck and Kobe Fleener.
Yep. And the Bengals did it with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. The Dolphins did it with Tua and Jalen Waddle.
From Stanford.
Hurts and Devonta Smith.
Yep, Tua and Jalen Waddle. Yeah. Hurts and Smith. Yeah.
14 picks to go, Joy.
T-Law and I guess not the receiver, but T-Law and Achen.
Yep.
Yeah.
My office lights are starting to dim.
Who's the Chargers?
I do.
All right. Let's do it.
All right. I previously picked for them Omar Cooper Jr. and Danny Dennis Sutton.
Yeah.
Let's check out the safety market. Ooh. Interesting.
Those are some pretty names.
You know what? Let's go with. I feel like he has been creeping up, and I think he still doesn't have enough love. Let's just get a Bud.
Let's
Bud
get a
Clark.
Bud. Let's get a Bud.
Oh,
Our new Bud.
That's fine.
All right. Jordan is up.
What's up, Bud?
Jordan
Yes,
has
sir.
so far gotten McCoy, Boston, Basantes, and Malik Muhammad. And that's cooking too.
that's
That's
yeah,
up there. That's up there with what I've done with the Browns.
And we're gonna keep cooking because we still need offensive line help. Our guards have been hurt, and then we might be able to move them to tackle if we don't like Austin Jackson in the future. So give me Jennings Dunker for the Miami Dolphins.
I like it. I wanted to bring him and his luxurious hair to Baltimore, but
yeah, you did.
I wanted to be more responsible and take Connor Lew because we need a center. We got a gaping size, $27 million Tyler Linderbaum hole in the middle of our offensive line. $27 million hole in the middle of the O-line. All right, so I'm up with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and so far I've taken Chris Bell and Grayson Halton. Not bad for a team that did not pick in the first half of the draft. They are going to go. They lost my guy from Utah.
Devin Lloyd.
Yes, in free agency. And they are going to replace him with Tareem York.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your classic run and hit will linebacker. Yes. That he is.
I think he's more of a scheme fit than the wiry they got lost already. And I thought they would keep him, but that was kind of strange. They just let him walk, but it's whatever, I guess.
I guess they don't like to spend money on certain positions. Some teams,
yeah.
I don't think the Jags spent like almost any money.
They didn't spend any money.
They did like not do free agency like at all, which is very LA.
They got a young team. I like it though.
GM
They're
is
committed
from
to
LA.
building with the young team and do the draft. I like it.
Yep.
Which is very Les Snead, which makes sense because James Gladstone was Les Snead's right-hand man. So it's very LA coded for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
Chicago, 1 o'clock.
Excellent.
Tyson, orange and gold day.
Yes. So
a bunch of chicken companies.
The next pick is one Kamari Ramsey from USC.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh.
They got Kobe Bryant from Seattle in free agency too. So
yep.
Nice.
They went from being a team that was like a gut rehab. Now they're putting the finishing touches on crown moldings, repainting a few things, putting up sconces, that kind of thing.
I'm so glad that Miami still has picks in this round because it allows me to pick something more fun. So let's go ahead and get Bryce Lance off the board. Get him finally out of here. So we have Denzel Boston and Bryce Lance now joining the wide receiver corps for the Miami Dolphins.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, Buffalo.
Right. So for Buffalo, what I think I've done so far is I can't remember, to be honest. Justin McMorrin. Yeah, I thought they traded a second round pick for DJ Moore.
Right.
I think linebackers are Dante Lawson and Keyshawn Elliott.
Yeah, Red Murdoch.
Yeah, Red Murdoch down there.
Yeah, I love Red Murdoch. Caleb Elon's Wars.
Love him too.
Aiden Fisher is the leader.
Yeah.
I break down linebackers into two groups. You got the computer and you got the athletic freaks, right? Right. Fisher is a computer, just like CJ Allen. Those are the computers of your linebacking core. These are guys that are going to they process quickly.
Yep.
They understand what you're going to do before you do it. They are tape guys. They are going to set your defense.
Yep.
And then you got other guys, right? Like Kyle Lewis, who's just freak. He covers like a corner, hits like a linebacker. Understands his depth and awareness, like a safety. He's a true hybrid type of player.
Yes.
Yeah. But there's also another individual that I like that I think the Bills also need is Dante Corleone, The Godfather.
There
I think I'm gonna go The Godfather.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I could have seen them go in such a variety of ways in this way. I like Corleone as a pick as well. I really like Erwin Zor as a fit for them. I really like Jahan Barham as a huge fit for the Bills. But I love that pick just as much. Like any of those three guys, I would have.
They took 2 interior defensive linemen last draft, so they still trying to build that up.
Yeah, and I just don't think Deion Walker solved what they were trying. I think they just need a massive human being, and he's like 340 pounds. So
What's
like
he
is built like Golem the Pokemon. He is very, very thick, round, and sawed-off arms. But man, when he gets his mitts on a offensive lineman, it's over.
And what's the other one? The one they got from South Carolina last year, the D lineman
from South Carolina. I
they got Walker, and then they got a defensive lineman from South Carolina.
TJ Sanders.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Hey, is Logan Fano still on the board?
Oh, he's long gone.
Oh, good.
No, Logan Fano's still there.
Oh yeah, Logan is there. Sorry, I was thinking Spencer for a second.
Oh no, I took him. I remember that.
The handsomer brother.
Oh yes,
yes.
That's what he told me at the Senior Bowl. He's
his own story.
I was like, Spencer. He's like, no, I'm the handsomer one.
You should get that on video, man. He can make some money.
I might have actually had it on video. I'll see.
We might have gotten it. Yeah,
I think we do have it. Yeah.
Oh,
all right. So the Cowboys up.
I think I posted that one.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So
let's see here.
The Cowboys have a couple of different options.
They went with Falk and Thieneman.
How about Lander Bart, linebacker, Utah. He reminds me a bit of a cross between Ted Hendricks and Matt Miller.
All right.
The Rams. Todd Simpson, Daryl Jackson.
Yep. And now we're going to throw Chandler Rivers into the mix.
All right, Miami again with their a million picks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Boy, Boston, Muhammad, Dunker.
And we have this guy named Bryce Lance.
They basically drafted the entire Senior Bowl. I mean,
basically
outside of the first 2 picks.
And Chase Pasantes, So ironically, we drafted a good friend of a friend out here. You mind going to that quarterback position for me real quick?
Oh.
Now, see, Drew Aller is a little worrisome here because the biggest problem is he needs to go somewhere he's going to develop and sit back. They probably don't have that patience in Miami. Give me Cole Payton.
Okay.
Nasty in here. I like it.
Sleeper.
And a really good athlete.
And we bring him with his friend Trey Lance.
For Landry
Lance's brother. Sorry, Bryce Lance.
That's certainly interesting. All right, New England. They went Caden McDonald and Chris Brazel.
Yep.
They went with big and tall.
Yes. They have done quite a bit of that. And we're going to, I guess, keep going with large human beings. We are going to grab ourselves an Oscar Delp from Georgia.
He's probably out.
Did I pass him? Dang.
Did somebody take Delp?
No, he's not.
Oh, no, he's right there. That's crazy.
215.
Cole Payton and Oscar Delp being that far is crazy.
I'm really not sure if PFF has updated the board.
I said, wait, what did Cole Payton's PFF grade say? His PFF grade.
He was dominating at North Dakota State.
He was. He's a phenom.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Best North Dakota State quarterback since
they called him the next Taysom Hill. That's what they called him.
Hey,
they
man,
said
he's more than that, baby. He's more
in
than
a
that.
world where people like to force the next Taysom Hill each draft season, Peyton actually has the ingredients to potentially be worthy of the comparison.
Yep.
I think he's got more quarterback upside, personally, myself. But now we're up with the
How
Seattle
come every time I think of
Seahawks.
Taysom Hill, I think of a brick? I don't understand it.
And now we're back with the Seattle Seahawks.
Yes.
We are sitting there with an old hometown friend that we'd like to bring in. How's Jonah Coleman doing? Because now he's a Seahawk. He's coming
Oh,
home.
wow.
He's staying in the Pacific Northwest.
He doesn't really have to do much of anything, right? He could just kind of.
Yeah.
You can still on campus at that point.
He could stay in Seattle at the dorm.
Yeah.
All right, Minnesota. They took Love, Halsey, and Heck.
All right. I'm going to finish my pickup with, let's go, Dejon Stribling.
Oh.
Wide receiver out of Ole Miss.
Interesting.
Let's make this Minnesota Vikings offense nasty with Addison, Jefferson, Stribling. Got Hawkinson. Let's just give Kyler Murray all the chance he needs to succeed.
And Jeremiah Love. Like, he's got every weapon he could possibly want.
It's getting so dark that I'm fading into my logo.
The Eagles.
Ashton King asked, he said, wait, what did Cole Payton's
Yeah, we already.
we
we
already
He
covered
answered
that.
that? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we
95.9. Yeah.
Stud, baby.
Yeah.
All right.
Love Cole Payton.
C.J. Allen, Jadarian Price, and Zachariah Branch.
Woo!
Philly.
And we are going to finish this particular draft off with a little bit of fun. We're gonna grab ourselves a little Demetrius Cronower from Texas.
Okay.
Big fella.
Yeah, we like
Say what?
that. We like on offensive line. We like big, large, and big. At least on the exterior, we like athletic guys on the interior.
We're one Texas player away from having the whole
He's
offensive
at tackle, yeah.
Yeah.
We're one away from Texas A&M's whole line.
I was thinking about Marjorie Adams at first.
Yeah.
I love
All right, back
Marjorie
again.
Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Back again.
Oh yeah, that's
Do it, Bill. Do it.
Do it.
Oh, it is me. Yeah.
Now, folks, in our party, Fernando actually comes to the party.
Okay, let me think about this. This feels like it might be about the right place in the draft to do this. Yeah, what the heck?
Do it.
Bring me a little Chris McClellan action.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Chris McClellan, love. We love Chris McClellan.
Absolute tiger right there. I like it.
Yeah. Yep. I remember finding him in summer scouting while I was working on Zion Young, and I was like, "Hey, who's that guy?" Right? And I still obviously like Zion Young a great deal, but I kept seeing Chris McClellan show up again and again and again. I'm like, okay. And, first I wanted to make sure it wasn't just a fluke, but 9 out of 12 games he made a play that made me go, "Oh, okay."
Powerful player right there. I like it.
Yes.
So I'm finishing up with Jacksonville, rounding out the end of this draft. And with the last pick 100 of this third round, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Max Clare, tight end, Ohio State.
Hey.
All right. Strange and Claire. All right.
There we go. Now you've got your blocker and you got your receiver. You got your two tight end set.
Mm-hmm.
We also got Chris Bell, and we added Grayson Holton as well.
Yep.
Nice work. Gentlemen, congratulations. You who are currently the eyeball producers for 231 people right now.
Woo!
And this is the largest concurrent number of viewers we've had for a mock draft in, I would say, 11 years.
Yep.
We love it.
Yep.
Gotta set the record.
Love it.
Only to be broken later.
Yeah. Well, all of you are invited to return for the 11th annual either 11th or 12th. I got back and check. Mock Draft to Palooza. If I don't already have your email address, at some point, throw your email address in my DMs. I know I have Jay's. I know I have Matt's. I know I have Jordan's. I don't know if I have yours, JT, but everybody else I know it. So anyone who wants to participate, if I don't have your email, I'll toss it in there. And that is actually a competition, and that is judged by a blue ribbon panel. And there'll be prizes, not fabulous prizes, because I work for a non-for-profit. I have a kid in college, and I'm getting married.
Hey, Bill, hold on a second. Wait, Bill. If you're going to have it here at Zennie62 Media, we are not a non-for-profit. We are a for-profit.
No. I meant my job, my day job, the one they pay me for.
Oh, well, but what I'm saying, though, why don't we just get a sponsor since, now we've got clients,
Okay.
Right? Maybe we can get Argent Materials to put some money in. Maybe we can, if we're doing
I'm fully
eyeballs
in
like
favor
this.
of someone kicking in. But yes, that would then mean that I wouldn't have to run out and buy the not so fabulous prizes. But either way,
the not so fabulous prizes.
And then maybe we can use the even more upgraded StreamYard version and make it really fun, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that.
So do I.
Is something we will definitely discuss off air. But yes, I want to thank every viewer, every commenter, and of course our participants. Everyone, I'll start with Jay and work our way up. Tell Jay, first of all, tell people about your draft guide that you contribute to, Jay, but also where they can find your work and follow you.
All right. Well, you guys can find me on Twitter/X. It's at VJRobbins. Yeah, you guys can find me on that. I'm posting a little bit there. I'm trying to get a little bit more on Blue Sky as well, but for now, Twitter/X is the best place to network for sports media, in my opinion. But yeah, beyond that, I just finished a collaborative project with a bunch of other Indianapolis Colts draft experts with my guys Jake Arthur, Zach Hicks, Noah Compton, Destin Adams, all four I've had a long relationship with, and they have been phenomenal in the industry for years and years and years. We created a Indianapolis Colts-centric draft guide. So might be more suited to Colts fans. However, it still has some nice notes, some good background information, very thorough. We had 171 profiles of NFL prospects on top of 270 plus grades in a giant collaborative big board that we have published. It's out, it's available. If you go on my at X/Twitter, you'll be able to find the link immediately on my pinned tweets. But yeah, it is selling for $11 a pop, and it is a great resource that a lot of fans can get into to not just get the information about the immediate round one, round two, guys who everyone knows, but also get into like the deep of day 3. All right. Yep. If you are a draft nerd, go get some guides.
Yeah. I strongly urge everyone to check it out. It is some of your best work. And as you said, Noah and Jake and Zach and everybody did some really strong work there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was in charge of the wide receivers and the defensive tackle portion of it, which both are very, very deep classes in this draft. So I think it was a very fun project for us all to work on. But yeah, I am excited to see everyone just enjoy this guide. I'm excited to be a part of that one. It's been a kind of running series that a lot of Colts creators have done, and I'm just happy to be a part of the legacy.
Hey, I have a question. Does anyone know if anybody else is doing a draft convention on draft day? I mean, what I mean by that is an online draft convention where they're using kind of it's a virtual ballroom as opposed to one room like this. I've been to things like that for other online events, but never for the NFL draft. And I was just kind of toying with the idea of making one.
That's a fascinating question. I'm going to say maybe. I'll ask around. JT, tell people where they can find your work and follow you, sir.
I don't really have too much work. I'm just really a draft fanatic, but I'm on at 4th Down Takes on Twitter. That is the letter 4 TH Down Takes, and I'm a Ravens fan, so a lot of my content just happens to be a lot about that. And I'm still finding my little niche, but I love the draft and just like love prospects. Like scouting is something that I've like done on like a personal thing, but never out in the public. So kind of just like starting to get that little by little. And
Okay.
I'm
Well, when
doing
you're
that starting
ready
here.
to be dragged into the spotlight, let me know. Your work, I think, from what I know, admittedly, it's my first experience with you, but I think that you have a bright future. And if you want to do this, I think.
Well,
you
Bill,
need to-
why don't you bring him here?
Well, thanks, Zenny. Subtlety's not such a thing.
Hey,
I was going to be more seductive,
company here.
but Zenny's not into seduction. He just grabs you.
Yeah,
It's just, yeah. I mean,
that's true.
generally speaking, Zenny,
Now, I don't
there's
grab
a
you.
little
Don't-
more of
don't-
a
don't say-
dance
don't
that
think
goes
like
into this
that.
kind
I'm
of
not-
thing. But
I'm
I
not
guess,
Vrabel. I'm not Vrabel or anybody.
yeah, I know. But JT will talk more. Don't feel pressured, no matter what Zenny does. I want consent to be a strong part of this. So when you are ready, when you are ready, I'd like to have this conversation in a setting where you feel safe. And then, and who better than Jesus to get us out of this situation? So I'm going to go to Jordan because that's a very natural transition. Please help us, Jesus. Please.
Yeah, you can find me, Barium Brown, and Ted Hurst in the pearly gates, making sure that the NFL is in safe hands. You can also find me, Matt, Jay, sometimes Bill, into the Draft Nerds, the logo behind us. I'm also working currently. This is the first time I've ever had over a 400 player deep pool on my board. It's the furthest I've ever gone. So now we're trying to get to 425.
Okay.
We're trying to get all the way up. I'm telling you, one of these days, I'm going to know something about every player drafted. And
there you go.
The Falcons seem to ruin it every year, but I won't let them do it. And for that reason alone, me, Matt, Jay, all the Draft Nerds, you can find my full 7-round mock hopefully this weekend. I'm going to do every single team.
Wait, did you say something about the Falcons?
About what?
Did you say something about Atlanta?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So every single year I've tried to predict, I've tried to have.
Are you here in Atlanta? Are you here in Georgia?
No.
No.
I don't even want to be there. I've seen McTrapp. I've been there before. So it's like,
I'm only
I don't even want to be there.
every single year I try to have a paragraph about every player, and 2 out of the 6 years it's been ruined by Atlanta itself to draft a guy I didn't know. So this is going to be the year, baby. This is it.
There we go. And he's also the keeper. He's the keeper of the holy spreadsheet, also.
Oh yes.
If I may, folks,
and all the wingspans will be fully finished for that this weekend as well.
I am proud to announce that Zennie62 Media has finished in its preliminary form. It says, I have to get rid of a screen before I can show a screen. What is this? I have to remove other media. What other media are on here? Before I can.
So if you still have the simulator up, maybe that's what's talking.
Oh yeah, I think that's
on your other feed or whatever.
Yeah, I'm streaming too to my followers as well, so I'm sure that's adding to it.
Okay, let's see here. I may have to.
While you do that, Matt, tell people about where they can find your work and follow you, sir.
Y'all know me, Draft Nerds, on Twitter as Talking Ball 1. On YouTube at Draft Nerds, on Spotify, we are on iHeartRadio, we are on Apple Podcasts, we are also on Twitch. Also, I do another podcast. Well, the Draft Nerds podcast I do with Jay and Coach War and Jordan. But then we also have another podcast, Black Wing Playbook, which is pretty new. I do it with former Raven Michael Pierce, also Cordell Woodland, who was a beat reporter for the Baltimore Ravens, and Coach War. We do that show weekly every Wednesday, and then we do Draft Nerds weekly as well, Tuesday, sometimes Thursday, or whenever we feel like it. If you like,
we're trying to get a consistent schedule.
if you like mock drafts, if you like film sessions, if you just like pure football in this most pure element, then definitely follow us. We got some things coming up as well. I got my top 150 releasing on Substack, as well as my final mock. I do it every year. I do one last mock with a write-up on Substack that I released. That's coming out. That'll be released the day before the draft.
Yep.
And then we also have a big mock draft coming up, which JT is a part of, and Jay and Jordan and Bill. Our mock draft extravaganza. This is our second year running it. We have 32 GMs. It'll be live right here on YouTube and StreamYard and all those good things. So just keep it locked with us, man. And, we're going to keep bringing you fire content.
Excellent.
Now, the announcement I'm going to make, I don't have enough room to do it, but unless I take myself out, which I may do right now, what you're about to no, I'll just say it. If you are able, go to it's called DLED. Let me put it this way: Zennie62 Media built a website for D. Orlando Ledbetter, and he posted his first entry on it. It's at dledatlfalconsnfl.com.
Okay.
And if the situation is that he's got another vendor that made a website for him, but folks, it's not ready to use. And they've been pulling around on it for almost a month. Whereas I built mine in 3 days. And it's a WordPress site, AMP equipped, if you know what AMP is. It's ultra fast, scores 100 on GT metrics. And I'm very proud of what was done, and he likes it too. So if these folks continue on their bad behavior, guess what? He's already posted. He's going to make us the regular rather than the other one. So there you go.
That's awesome news. That is great news. So since we have people, some of who are on East Coast time and have work in the morning, we will thank you so much for all of your time, your efforts, and your energy. It has been an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure. I will be speaking to all of you again soon. JT, I don't know if I follow you yet, but I will if I wasn't following you before. And you and I will be talking, young man, because like I said, if you are interested in moving forward and being more public with your thought process is really solid. So if you want to do this, I think you'll be good at it, like I said.
And even if it wasn't solid, we might have you anyway. So.
Well, once again, Zennie says things that I sometimes agree with and sometimes not so much. But either way, we will talk more in the future. So check your DMs and everyone have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And once again, thank you, Draft Jesus, for blessing this month.
Yeah, follow me at Jordan Sport Guy. I forgot to say it.
Live long and prosper, and remember to subscribe to Zennie62 on YouTube and bookmark NFL News by Zennie62.com and check out our news site, NFLDraftRankings.com.
Yes, which I will actually tomorrow, when I have some time, because tomorrow's not as crazy as the rest of the several days have been, start uploading my rankings, and I'll eventually will get to somewhere in that 350 to 400 range when it's all said and done. I've been
join the boards, Bill. Join the boards. Get the
yes, you know it. You know it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So that ends the stream. That stream is officially over, folks.
Yes, sir.